In 2015, 7 out of the 9 podium positions so far have been taken by the Nordic Marauders. For the first time this season, RX crosses the English Channel, and it's down to these men to hold back the Viking invasion.
2 tickets to the gun show! You know what I'm talking about! To the gun show!
Hello and welcome to round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship here in Great Britain. After 3 rounds with 3 different winners, we've returned to the home of Rallycross, Lydden Hill in the southeast of England. The sport was invented here and has been raced on this historic track since 1967. It's a feather every driver from around the world wants in their cap, but round 4 sees the most home drivers competing in an event this year, and competition for the top spot will be fierce. FIA RX returned to Mette in Belgium for only the second time, and again the track delivered the action. After another set of dramatic qualifying heats, Johan Kristoffersen was sat atop the intermediate table with 2 out of 4 heat victories. After taking the lead in semi-1 from the start, a cruel puncture stopped him dead in his tracks on lap 4. Just 1 lap later, and in exactly the same position, the tyre gods cursed Timmy Hansen and ended his ambition of making it 3 podiums in a row. But one driver's misfortune is another driver's luck in Rallycross, with both the Ford OMSE drivers following Topi Heikkinen into the final. Semi-2 and Solberg jumped the start, earning him a 2 joker penalty. The champ went flat out and showed why he's the best in the business, not just making the final, but finishing a remarkable 2nd in the race. After everybody caught their breath, it was time for the final. Topi Heikkinen took the lead from the start, with Solberg slotting into 2nd and somehow extra muscled himself into 3rd. A strong move indeed, but he was eventually blinded by what was left of his bodywork, forcing him to retire. Meanwhile, Topi and Petter were out on their own. Solberg jokered first to create himself some space for the battle to the line, but for once the champion misjudged his speed, came in too hot and lost time in the joker. A lap later, it was Topi's turn, and everybody knew it was going to come down to a matter of feet as the leading pair reunited on the joker exit. Heikkinen came out on top, and now it was just a case of the Finn holding his nerve to the line, making it 2 wins in 2 years in Belgium.
It feels good right now, of course. First 2 races was really hard for us. When we won in Belgium, I'm more hungry to having more wins, and it's not easy. There's so many guys, so fast guys, and the level is so high right now. There's 10 guys who can win the races, but it's all about having a best car which fits for the drivers. So it's great to win over there, and on this track we need to work really hard to having a perfect setup for me.
That victory sees Heikkinen move up to 3rd in the Drivers' Championship behind Solberg and Kristoffersen. He's followed by Bakkerud, Hansen and Reinis Nittisch, who finished on the podium in Belgium, but was later docked 5 championship points for a technical infringement. It's tight at the top in the Teams' Championship. SDRX are leading, but only 13 points separate the top 4 teams. 7 British drivers will take to the track here in the Supercar category, including former British Touring Car champion Andrew Jordan, who made the podium last year on his World RX debut.
Did better than I thought I was going to, really. I'd been out of Rallycross for 7 years. Coming back to a World Championship, the competition was much more than I'd been used to when I did Rallycross. So to get on the podium at my home event was more than I expected. There's a lot more guys now that could qualify into the semi-final. You know, you look down it and there's probably 16 guys, maybe more, that you could say, well, they could definitely be in the semi-final. But it's a World Championship. There's definitely now some of the world's best drivers here. So I think it's a lot tougher than it was last year.
Lydden Hill is the spiritual home of Rallycross and is owned by RX legend Pat Doran, who is here as always supporting his son Liam competing in the supercars.
I used to come here when I was a really little kid with Dad racing. Basically nothing here, it was basically a bit of tarmac in a field, and essentially that's what it was, but that was what gave it the character it had. It wasn't a big famous professional racetrack, it was the place where Rallycross happened. It was where it was born and it's where it always happened.
Per Eklund, Shanker, like you say, he was a nutcase. The Will, the Fox, and he was a proper fox. Came up with some real tricks, but he was a gentleman, love him to death. And it was a magic kingdom then, and I think it still is now.
I think if I remember back rightly, this was the last thing on the list that was ever going to happen, so...
he was going to be a rugby player, character building, turn him into a proper gentleman, and it never happened, it all went badly wrong. The commitment you have to do this means it grows in the family, and this is the proof. These boys now are as quick as any other driver in the world.
Coming up, We review the action from Heats 1 and 2. We've got the best of the action from Heat 3. Heat 4 decides who will make the semi-final cut. We've got the Supercar semi-finals live, the live RX Lights final, and the big one, round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship, the Supercar final live. Here's the track preview presented by Ion Cameras. Lydden Hill then, the birthplace of Rallycross. 1,300 metres for the standard lap, 1,400 for the Joker lap. It's 40% dirt and 60% asphalt. We're on board with home driver Liam Doran away from the line. This is the rush down to turn 1. Standard lap goes right on gravel, the Joker lap going left, downhill on tar, and then it's an uphill braking zone. You must get the speed off before it flattens out. Tight right and left, and then over the jump that went in for top gear last year. Onto the gravel through Cheshunt's Drift. You've got to try and find some traction while you pull gears, and down towards Devil's Elbow. Onto the tar. It's hard braking, and it's crucial to get the car turned in well here because it's a long run up a very steep hill. If you get that wrong, you're in danger of being passed on the way up into the hairpin. Braking then with the hill helping you into the hairpin, get the nose turned in, and then back on the gas again, the run down hairy hill. Over to the left-hand side at the bottom, using every inch of the tarmac and turning the car in over a new section of tar and back onto the dirt before the rush to the start-finish line. The chicane here is flat as long as you get it right. It was almost an all-British heat to kick off the UK round of World RX. Sadly for the home fans, Manfred Stoll spoilt the party and held off Guy Wilkes to the line. Andrew Jordan got a great start in race 2, jokering on lap 1 and avoiding the carnage that left Robin Larson high and dry at turn 1. Markman looked to be on for a great time, but missed a penalty joker for a jump start, leaving Jordan to win the race and set a time that would see him end Heat 1 9th overall. Double Lydden winner Tanner Faust tried to go all the way around the outside at Cheshunt's Drift, but Belgian winner Heikkinen found enough traction to shut the door. Meanwhile, Christopherson had jokered early and slotted out in front of Toppy, and despite the pressure, held on to the line. Rainis Nitish and Matthias Ekström both opted to joker off the start. Nitish had the upper hand, and the two were laying down some great lap times, but they hadn't reckoned on PG Anderson, who jokered on the final lap, and split the pair over the finish. Backer had fluffed his start and was left playing catch-up for the rest of his run. When he eventually caught René Munich, the pass was easy as the German driver ran wide on the brakes at the hairpin. Out front, Timmy Hansen took the win on a track that really suits his tidy style. Ollie O'Donovan nearly pulled off the impossible start from slot 5 to the inside, but the world champion was having none of it. Solberg was at his spectacular best and won the race, and with it, the heat overall. Peugeot driver David Genet had a massive moment at the Joker lap exit, but made up for it with a great, brave pass around the outside of Max Pusher. Backerud got back on track with a clean getaway that left everybody trading in his dust. A lights to flag victory for last year's Lydden Hill winner. Matthias Ekström made the move of the day at the bottom of Hairy Hill, coming from a long way back to pass PG Anderson on the brakes to take the win. The final race of the day was between championship frontrunners Petter Solberg and Johan Kristoffersson. Kristoffersson led, but Solberg got the better of him via the Joker lap, the two of them finishing first and second in Heat 2, exactly as they had in Heat 1.
It's my best day ever since I started Rallycross, 100 points, and when you have a team like I have that is actually working with you and are interested to try things, It's in the area we know about, but every track is different, so we're trying to find small things everywhere. And they are so positive and passionate, and when you have this energy by them, they want to do it, so I'm happy.
With that double 1-2 result, Petter Solberg and Johan Kristoffersson at the top of the standings. Ekström, Nitish, Anderson, Linnerud, Heikkinen and Backerud are your top 8. Stoll, Jordan, Timosyanov and Wilkes are in, so that's 2 Brits into the semi-finals. But there are a lot of front-running drivers who at the moment don't look like they're going to make the cut.
So all 3 Ford OMSE drivers currently in the top 12 as we approach Heat 3. So their helmets are here, so they should be standing by ready for Heat 3. Let's see if we can find some of the drivers to have a quick word. Well, this is the number 13 car of Andreas Bakurud, just talking to one of his engineers. Andreas, good day, Heats 1 and 2, talk us through it.
Heat 1 I stalled in the start. I made a little problem, but after that we had a really good pace, and I think we had one of the quickest lap times. In Heat 2 I had a really good start, a little bit too safe maybe, but you know, I still really enjoyed to be here in Lydden. One of my favorite tracks. It's really fast, and I like the first corner where you just kind of throw the car into it and just hope for the best and flat out. You know, yeah, I'm very happy, and I'm looking forward to third and fourth heat and hopefully the final and semi-final. You know.
You've proved how quick you are here, but I know you're hungry for a good result. Give us an idea of how hungry you are to get through 3 and 4 into the semis and win an event.
To be honest, I'm used to win races, to be on the podium. And last time I tasted champagne was in Holjes in Sweden last year, because I won in Turkey, but they didn't have any champagne there. So hopefully IMG will get us something this race, you know.
Okay. Thanks, Andreas. Good luck in Heat 3. Okay, let's move along and see if we can get a quick word with Timur. Timur's currently lying in 11th. Timur, just a quick word from you about Heats 1 and 2. You're currently in 11th. I'm sure that's not where you would like to be. What can you do in Heats 3 and 4?
Yeah, we should be faster. For sure, to drive 5th in the heat is not a good way, because it's too dusty in the track, and it's not your own style of driving. We should win the start and go forward. What we'll try to do for the for the Heat 3 and 4 is good.
Thanks, Timur. Very good. And over here on the right is Reines Nitish, currently in 4th. So you must be happy with Heats 1 and 2, but could you be happier?
It actually went well for me. A lot of dust in the track, but it can be better. And we have to build the speed a little bit up, and we'll see. I'm happy.
You're certainly in a good position to get another podium. It's a strong season for you, but you kind of want to win, don't you?
Yeah, it's not the question who is fast driver, but the question is who is the fastest one, you know. And everybody are really fast. We'll see. We'll see how it will go.
Thank you very much, Reines. All the very best in Heats 3 and 4.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, earlier on today in morning warm-up, Alex Danielson, who for the first time this season has shown a real turn of pace here at Lydden Hill, unfortunately got it wrong down at the first corner. Tim Harvey.
Yeah, a lot more grip than he was expecting. He was expecting the car to run wide. They made some changes overnight, and he turned in, and the car just instantly tucked in, clipped the barrier, and it's a solid barrier on the, it's a bankment really on the inside, and it just flipped the car over, but too much damage for him to start.
Well, Neil Colt actually managed to have a chat with Alex Danielson earlier on, so let's hear what you had to say.
Alex, morning warm-up. Talk us through what happened, and do you think you'll be ready for Heat 3?
Okay, so mechanics done a lot of work overnight on the car to improve it. We're getting better step by step because we're quite new with this car. And it was absolutely fantastic. We had a good day yesterday. We were P6 in practice, and the car was just had grip from hell. And I wasn't expecting that amount of grip, I think. And I just got too close to the inside in turn 1 and touched the tire wall with my right front tire, and it got the car to go up on 2 wheels and start tumbling. I don't know if it's ready or not. It's really tight, so probably not, but I just got through the doors, I don't know.
Bad luck. But the signs are good, because if it was that quick and the grip was that good, then it took you by surprise.
Yeah, completely. I wasn't expecting that grip level, so I think we're heading in a good direction with the car. Before this happened, that was definitely the wrong direction, but we're making good steps, and we're improving a lot weekend by weekend.
Thanks, Alex. I'll let you talk to the team.
My name's Andrew Coley. Joining me in the commentary box this weekend is Tim Harvey, former British Touring Car champion, and reporting from the paddock, Neil Cole. Before we see the leading drivers in action, let's take a look back at the early races in Heat 3. Timmy Hansen was in the first race of Heat 3 thanks to his puncture yesterday. He made amends and took an easy race win. Tanner Faust also had a dreadful start to his weekend. Incorrect brake bias into Cheson's drift left him with a spin yesterday. No such problems today, and it was an easy win for him too. The third race of the heat, Timizyanov and O'Donovan headed down into Chesson side by side, and O'Donovan was unfortunate in that Timizyanov spun in front of him and left him absolutely nowhere to go. O'Donovan's car stalled, Timizyanov's suspension was broken, and he only found out when he hit the brakes at the devil's elbow. Meanwhile, Le Boule took the win. Race 4, so Andrew Jordan and Davy Genet dive off to take the Joker lap on lap 1 and avoiding the carnage down at turn 1. Liam Doran tried to go around the outside, but he lost traction and ended up slotting in third place. Jordan set an absolutely fantastic time. Lining up next, it's Heat 3, Race 5. Andreas Backerud and Rainis Nitish on the inside. Teammates PG Anderson, Robin Larsson, and another home hope, Guy Wilkes. Anderson and Nitish on the inside then. Sorry, Backerud and Nitish on the inside. Anderson in the middle. Backerud and Nitish have got to be careful here. They can't really split their strategy from that side of the grid. It's going to come down to who gets away best. Very, very even start on the inside. Those three guys are surely going to go, and PG bails. PG doesn't want to go that way. He makes into the Joker lap first. Larson has gone into the standard lap, and Guy Wilkes has gone into the Joker with PG. Wise move by PG there, really, really thinking on his feet.
Yeah, he was, definitely. You could see the congestion coming, but Backerud, last year's winner here, remember, he's out in front from his teammate. They can do a formation drive, a bit like we saw the Peugeots do in the last heat.
And they do need to get on with it as well, because PG, locked front wheel from Backerud. Backerud in a little bit hot at the top of the hill. But PG's a quick drive behind them. PG yesterday was spectacular, but we didn't actually feel it was the fastest way around the track.
No, they all seem to have tidied up their act today. Mind you, we haven't got to that man Petter yet, have we? But everyone else seemed to have really tidied up their act.
Over that new section of tarmac onto the gravel. The front three remain as they were. PG Anderson and Guy Wilkes at the back of both jokered. There's PG in the rear. At the bottom, you can see whether they've jokered or not. So there's an X on the first three. Tells you that they haven't, and Anderson's got a big tick. Perfect. Up the hill, Backerud with great traction. Just as to a gap, Nitish just a tiny little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting when you watch Backerud's car, the car still looks quite soft. We saw it really rolling as it locked up the inside wheel, braking into the north hairpin. Look, again, coming down the hill, but it's working for him. He's pulling a little gap. Fastest time so far for him.
Larson in third, of course. This was where he really broke onto the supercar scene last year. Everyone was quite surprised how quick he was coming up from touring cars. Great job by him. They've all still got to joker. They're all going to have to go on the last lap. So they've just decided, haven't they? There's no tactics here. Flat out, follow each other to the line.
Yeah, make as much of a gap as you can before you have to take the joker.
PG Anderson, sorry, Tim, to interrupt. PG Anderson looked like a problem in the background, down into Devil's Elbow. Guy Wilkes just drove past him on the run out of the gravel.
Well
at the
spotted.
back.
Look at that. Yeah, and again, problem going up the hill for PG Anderson. Look, he's got no power. This is another, looks like stall sort of problem. Same sort of thing. We'll have to get down and find out what it is. He'll just be hoping to get to the flag now.
Late in the race, so he's not going to lose too much time. It's not going to be a stormer of a heat time, but if he can get to the finish with a lap to go, he might be all right. All into the joker lap then. Backerud, Nitish and Larson. Are they going to come out in front of Guy Wilkes? Guy Wilkes sweeps it. Now there, you're on board with Backerud. Over the jump. Lights it up on the gears. I think Larson's going to be overlapped by Wilkes. This is a great drive by Guy Wilkes in the Mini. 1.6 litre engine. It's a slightly lighter car. Oh, he's having a look up the inside of Nitish. Guy Wilkes is putting on a show for the home crowd. I think he's going to come through in third, but great.
Great stuff, yeah. Guy Wilkes makes some changes to the car overnight. Remember, only just one little test as he left the door open. No, he hasn't. He cuts it back on the late apex. Great drive by Wilkes. Only one little test before this meeting at Pembrey for that car and driver.
He was struggling with understeer all day yesterday, and he was in the warm-up as well, but not now. It's Backerud who takes the win. Nitish in second, but Guy Wilkes in third. Larson down to fourth. PG Anderson's going to have to creep round. Here he comes. Definitely down on power. Maybe turbo.
Yeah, sounds a bit like it. Wasn't pulling any more gears either.
On board with Backerud, the winner. Let's have a look at the result. Thumbs up, Backerud. Takes the win, 258.8. Rainis Nitish second, Guy Wilkes third, Robin Larsson fourth, and PG Anderson is fifth. Where do they slot in? Andrew Jordan is still on the top of the Heat 3 standings with just one race to go. Backerud, Genet, Nitish and Wilkes in the top 5. Great job. Neil Cole is up in the Iron Spotters Tower. Let's see who he has managed to grab.
Good job by Andreas and Reynes then, and the times are getting quicker as the circuit dries.
Yeah, I mean, we have rallycross here for 40 years and they haven't learned to make equal condition for a track. I'm ashamed of English, you know, World Rally Championship race, because this is not equal for everyone. But anyway, despite that, we done what we can. Andreas, I pushed him as hard as I can. If it's enough, I don't know, because as you said, the track will be faster. So otherwise, I think he's wake up on the right side, and I want him to show that he wants to win. And yesterday I didn't see that, so hopefully.
Thank you.
Let's have a look at some of the action from the last race. Well, that was the Mini away from the line. Lightweight, of course, but on the inside, Bakkerud and Nitish and PG had no choice, really, but I was impressed with how quickly he chose to go the other way.
Yeah, it was a great decision, made in a split second. Wilkes going through later on, look. The two Olsbergs Fords coming back on, and then Guy Wilkes, bang, he's there in front of Larson, having driven a brilliant couple of laps after the first Joker.
Great job by Guy Wilkes, another Brit looking like he might make it through to the semi-finals. Final race of Heat 3. This has got the fast boys in it. Petter Solberg, Johan Kristoffersen, Matthias Ekström, Anton Markland and Tord Linnerud. Two sets of teammates on the grid. You can probably split your strategy if you're in the polos. They're either side. For me, Linnerud has to go straight down the Joker lap if he's got any... got his head switched on. Maybe if I was in the Audi, I think I'd be thinking,
is the one with the choice. Does he go to the inside on the conventional lap, or does, if he makes a good start and he's quicker away than Linnerud, I'd be going down the Joker.
I think so too. They'll all want to get into whichever part of the lap they choose first. Ekström's in the middle. That's where PG was last time. Super start by everybody. Kristoffersen, oh, looks like he might be able to get past Solberg. He's shutting the door on Solberg. Kristoffersen does. Kristoffersen gets in front of Solberg down into the Joker lap. We've had exactly what we thought. I think it's Linnerud, and it looks like Markland's gone there, and Ekström has gone to the standard lap. So both the two sets of teammates split their strategies. But what about Kristoffersen shutting the door on Petter?
There's not many people who can muscle their way in front of Petter Solberg, are there, like that? And great stuff by Kristoffersen. He's obviously buoyed by Sweden winning the Eurovision Song Contest, and his wife having a baby this morning.
Absolutely fantastic for Kristoffersen, and now he's leading as well. It is a big, big day for him. Petter won't like that. Petter sees these guys. This is the train which Petter is slightly afraid of. He said last week in Belgium, oh, great time, but Kristoffersen still to come, and so's Ekström.
And
so he knows.
That's, look, he's gone for the Joker to split his options. He's giving himself another strategy. Wants clear track.
So Solberg then, where's he going to merge? Can he come back out in front of Linnerud and Markland on the standard lap? He can. Solberg slots into third place. There he is. Over the gravel section, down towards Devil's Elbow. Solberg from Linnerud with Markland at the back. These guys are all fast. Markland set some great lap times yesterday. Made a mistake, unfortunately. Got a penalty Joker and didn't take it. So got in trouble for that. Little 30-second penalty, but he's there or thereabouts. And he's being in the fastest heat race is good for him. We're interested, though, in the guys up on that hill. Kristoffersen with Ekström right behind him. Ekström's piling the pressure on. That's up in the spots down. There is Petter Spotter monstering the curbs.
Yeah, Petter's got, that was a good tactical move by Petter now to take it on the last lap, but now we've seen Kristoffersen take it. Will he come back in front of Petter Solberg? It's going to be tight. Solberg's trying it round, and he's done it.
So Solberg then has managed to get past Kristoffersen. He did it yesterday in the Joker lap as well. He's done it today. That will be demoralising for Kristoffersen. This is now about Ekström at the front. Can Ekström bang in an absolute blinder of a lap and manage to get back out in front of the World Championship leader? Ekström would love that. He loves to win. Down at the bottom of the hill, Solberg's chasing hard. Ekström pitches it in past the commentary position. We're stood right to the side of where the cars are now. Solberg with that spectacular style into the corner at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, I think this sort of conditions really suit Matthias Ekström, racing driver, of course, from the DTM. Very smooth, very tight. Oh, he's run a bit wide there. Lost some time, I think. Yes, look.
Disaster for Ekström. You can hear the anti-lag going mad there. I wonder if it was pushing him on a little bit in the corner, but either way. Oh, Petter! Problem for Petter! Kristoffersen, the whole field blast past him. The world champion's got a problem. It's a disaster for him. He leads now. He leads the overnight standings as well. It's still going to be a good time. What happened there?
Don't know. It's the third heat we've seen a car with a problem late in the race, but up
they're all going at it.
Well, look, they're all going to to set a good lap time here, aren't they? Remember, the track is quicker than earlier. Ekstrom is still Solberg is still going, so he's all going to set a good lap time.
But the two guys that he didn't want to beat him have managed to do it. Solberg, something went wrong. The car's still flying. It's still going to be an epic time by them. But Solberg somehow, and he drops back on the warm down lap as well. So Solberg has a problem. Christopherson, Ekstrom from Linnerud. Oh, well, everybody going past him on that last lap. Absolutely amazing. Here's the result. Christopherson, Ekstrom, Linnerud, showing Solberg third and Markman fourth. I didn't see that in the background. Slotting in, Christopherson goes fifth and Ekstrom in sixth. Andrew Jordan, though, is at the top of the heat. Great job by him. Those guys were fast. Maybe they tripped over each other a little bit. Have a look at the action from that one. Away from the line then, the VWs and the Audi split their strategy. This was Christopherson shutting the door on Solberg. When it came down to the Joker laps, though, Solberg put in the quicker lap in between and managed to get back out in front of Christopherson. Good tactics by the world champion. Here it was, Solberg slotting out, Christopherson taking his Joker, I think on lap 3, through the dust down towards Devil's Elbow. I'm wondering, Tim, if where it's dried out a little bit, it's now more slippery. So when it's super wet, it's slippery. When it's super dry, it's slippery. There would have been a bit in the middle, maybe with some more traction.
It could be, but I don't accept the criticism of the track. You know, it's been pretty steady all the way through there. And Andy Jordan, the quickest person overall. Fantastic performance.
Well, Neil Colt is up in the spotters tower now with an update for us from that last race.
Per Espen, the tactic worked perfectly with the Joker, but then what happened?
We're not exactly sure what happened, but we think it was some engine cut in that corner over there. So very, very sad.
It's very disappointing because it could have been a perfect series of heats for you, but it's not all over.
No, but we don't focus on having a perfect series of heats. We just have to stay on top and be on top after 4 heats. That's the most important.
We'll let you go and work out what the problem was.
Yes, we will.
Well, Per Espen a little bit disappointed. Let's have a look at the standings after Heat 3. Result then for Heat 3, Race 6, Johan Christopherson, Matthias Ekstrom, Linnerud, Markand and Solberg. There's where they slot in. Andrew Jordan winning Heat 3. Christopherson and Ekstrom down in 5th and 6th. Guy Wilkes with a great time in 7th there. So some cracking times in the last 3 heat races. Well, while we've got the chance, let's have a look at some fantastic slow-motion footage from here in Lydden Hill. This is Anton Markand in the EKS RX Audi S1, and we're looking at the chicane. The gravel section finishes, and this is over the start-finish line. Tim, curbs on either side there. You mustn't hit the one on the left or the right, as we're looking at here. It's massive, but the other side of the track, they're flat out over it.
Yeah, quite often the guys are still sorting the car out from Paddock Hill Bend, but it's important they hit that chicane straight as possible. Look at the amount of suspension travel on that car. Lightweight, 600 horsepower, nearly a foot of suspension travel.
This is Rainer Snittish, records for Ford OMSE. Into Devil's Elbow, the left-hander, and again they must get the car turned in here. The hill is so steep.
Yeah, the exit from Devil's Elbow up the hill, very important. This circuit considered really a tarmac circuit, mostly a dry race setup, so the car's a little bit stiffer than they would be on some of the other World Rallycross tracks.
Now these Markman Motorsport cars, we've said this all weekend, but they're really turning in well. We can see here PG Anderson smoking up the rear right tyre, but they seem to have just a nice drift angle set all the way through the corner. They're able to get on the gas early.
Yeah, the car is going forward, crucially. It's a neutral drift. Look, the wheel's hardly turning, so it's not a big oversteer. It's a neutral drift, as opposed to here, we've got some understeer going in, transversing into oversteer on the way out. But the car must be moving forward all the time to record quick lap times.
Now this is Paddock Bend, isn't it, at the bottom of Hairy Hill. They're coming in here very fast. You can see there, yeah, the understeer carrying on a little bit longer for one of the Munich Audi drivers. This is the EKS RX car with PG Anderson behind. PG here, in fact, he's having to get on the brake because Ekstrom looks like he's maybe gone in a little bit deep.
Yeah, he did. You can go in different ways here. There's a bit of extra tarmac, obviously, on the way in, which encourages you to take some speed in. And look, PG Anderson there, he's run wide, he's got on the loose, and now he's got that problem of straightening the car up before the chicane. Here we're seeing Guy Wilkes in the Mini, been driving fantastically, still trying to find a great setup for this car, but really already recording good times.
The Mini a little bit more lightweight than the other cars, of course, because it's only got the 1.6 litre engine in it, but Guy's done a great job, and somehow they've managed to find enough speed up the hill, which was where I was worried they'd suffer against the 2 litre cars.
Well, he's pedalling out the floor, isn't he?
Great job by him. A little bit of contact here. This was Pusha and Genet. Genet, in fact, coming all the way around the outside. You can see the jump in the background as well. That's different to last year's Joker lap.
Yeah, we didn't have that before. This is just coming out of Chesson's Drift. It's a difficult section. They're trying to get on the pad, trying to get the car going forward, but loose on the outside.
Fantastic pictures from Lydden Hill, and great analysis from Tim Harvey, as always. The start of Heat 4 saw Timur's Yarnov out. Great pass on Pusha at the bottom of the hill, and the Russian driver taking the win with ease. PG Anderson got a great start in his race. Godfrey left him clear by taking the Joker lap. PG was way out in front, but he got a puncture, and he was very lucky to hold on for the win. Heat 4, race 3. On the inside, after a good run last time out, Mark LeBoul. Home driver Kevin Proctor, Manfred Stoll, Yanis Baumanis, and then David Binks on the outside. Well, David Binks, I would have my money on going straight to the Joker. Baumanis alongside him in one of Peugeot Sport's last year cars, Peugeot Hansen's last year cars. When he did that with Faust yesterday, he ended up in the barrier, so he'll be a bit cautious, but it's a good start by Baumanis. Oh, LeBoul gets a great start too. LeBoul's going to try and shut the door, but Stoll comes all the way across, and as predicted, the 228s on the outside go straight into the Joker. It's Baumanis leading Binks.
Yeah, great start by Stoll from third on the grid. He'll be hoping that the power problems that robbed him of a win in Heat 3 won't reoccur. He led that one all the way through to the last lap.
Flying up the hill now. Proctor looks like he fancies a little look up the inside of LeBoul. Oh, he's still alongside him, so he could get an overlap down the hill, but LeBoul seems to have got good exit in the C4. So Proctor can't get past. We did see a couple of passes up at the hairpin last year, Tim, but most of them involved maybe a tiny bit of rubbing, I think touring car drivers like to call it.
Yeah, and mostly when it comes to the semi-finals and final, when positions matter.
It is indeed. Into the Joker lap goes LeBoul. Wants to get out of that traffic with Proctor in front. Where's he going to come out? Already Baumanis and Binks have gone to it. Here comes Baumanis. LeBoul comes out alongside. It's a race down towards Devil's Elbow. LeBoul is on absolute fire in the C4. Be brave to try and get it in there, but not enough traction. He's going to get in front of Binks, as long as he gets it stopped, but not in front of Baumanis. Baumanis from Super 1600 straight to a supercar. I think he had an event somewhere over in Europe last week, which he did well at, but this is the World Championship. I think it's quite an impressive drive so far. He ended in the wall yesterday, but not really, a little bit of a tangle. He didn't throw it off himself.
No, very impressive drive. I think it's really good. I think he's impressed a lot of people.
Good for him as well to be on the Hansen Junior Development Programme, along with Eric Fahren, of course, who you remember from last year, did a few World RX events, competing in Sweden this year. So Hansen making use of the cars from last season, which all the drivers say handle absolutely fantastically. So those three all have jokered out front. Manfred Stoll and Kevin Proctor have yet to joker. There they come up the hill. So Stoll dives on the brakes. Round the right-hander, here's Proctor, who of course LeBoul dived out from behind. What do we think the gap is here, Tim, to make it through the Joker and back out?
3.5, 4 seconds, depending on how you come over that final little jump and how you hit the dirt. If you can get the car turned and get it back to the inside, not so much time. If you lag out on the outside, big problem.
Well, we saw LeBoul, didn't we, a minute ago with the C4 at this point, over the jump. Look how deep the gravity is on the outside. You've got to find the traction, but you can't just put the lock on and drag it back to the clean line on the inside.
No, and in actual fact, there you saw the opposite. Stoll got it back to the inside, and Proctor couldn't.
Proctor then ends up down in fourth. Baumanis looks like he's going to be able to hold on for second, but still a couple of corners to go. The power race up the hill.
No problems for Stoll this time with the engine power.
He's a long way out in front. Manfred Stoll passes us in the commentary position down into Paddock Bend, through the right-hander, over the new section of tyre and flat out through the chicane. Another good drive from the Team Austria Pro. And Baumanis is going to take second. So Baumanis takes second for the Hansen Junior team. LeBoul in third. 258.1 for Manfred Stoll. Have a look at the result. Stoll then with the win. Balmanis second, Laboul and Proctor and Binks bringing up the rear. That's where they slot in. Combined standings after Heat 4, Race 3, but obviously with some of those drivers still to come. Neil is up in the spotters tower.
Well, Martin, Manfred and that car just getting quicker and quicker. A race win and a good time.
Yes, exactly. Yesterday we were a little bit struggling with the setup and with the suspension of the car, but it looks like overnight we found the reason why. So he did very well already in Heat 3, setting second fastest lap time. Just we were unlucky with some technical problem, but now I think he has shown how quick he can go.
Straight through to the semi-finals, I guess.
Hopefully, yes. We did our best, and now we see what the other guys are doing, and hopefully we can reach the semi-final. That's the goal, yes.
Thank you.
Here's some of the action from that last heat race. Away from the line then, Binks on the outside with Balmanis with him, and those two guys diving straight into the Joker lap.
Yeah, you can't blame them, can you? That was the right thing to do if you're on the fourth and fifth grid positions.
Manfred Stoll, wild there at the bottom of the hill, a little bit wide. That was Laboul in the C4, and this was at the merge, of course. Balmanis in the Hansen Junior programme. There are his spotters looking on from the Arn Spotters Tower. When it all played out, Stoll coming out with a clear gap in front. This was Proctor trying to come around the outside of Balmanis and Laboul, but it's very, very difficult to get the power down there. Manfred Stoll holding on this time round and taking the heat race win. On the line, ready to go. Liam Doran, Anton Markland, Petter Solberg, Tanner Faust and Timmy Hansen. Some very, very quick drivers in this. Hansen on the outside. We've seen the Hansen team, if they're in that grid slot, have traditionally sent their driver straight to the Joker. Will Faust go with him? He did yesterday when Balmanis went that way. Oh, it's an even start across. Only the EKS car drops back. Oh, they all look like they're going to go. Last-minute decision there from Tanner Faust, slots in behind Timmy Hansen.
Yeah, because just inside him then, Solberg off third, got the start that he wanted and got across onto the lap with Duran behind.
So the SDRX teammates then, are they going to be able to put on a bit of a show for the crowd? Both Monster Energy athletes in through Devil's Elbow and away up the hill they go. Anton Markland is following them, and behind them, lap one Jokers for Hansen and Faust. Look at Solberg. Liam, not quite as sideways as Solberg is through there.
Yeah, let's watch it through paddock bend, though. That's where we really see how they handle it. And, yeah, pretty equal, actually. All three cars looking on a nice drift. And, obviously, Solberg's team, they had the problem. And Duran's gone for the Joker, but Solberg's team had that problem with engine power in the last heat as well.
Looks to be fixed. Let's hope so. Doran then is going to come out behind Hansen. Is he going to get in front of Faust? Faust all the way into the dirt. I don't know if he's trying to protect the position there or not, but he's now out in the dirt, and Faust has dropped back. Timmy Hansen, who jokered on lap 1, is ahead of Doran, who jokered on lap 2. So great move by Hansen, and Hansen to me is catching up with these two guys. Was it a very wise move? I mean, Solberg sideways. You've said a couple of times to me, Tim, is he using his tyres up? We saw him do it last weekend in Belgium. It looks great. He doesn't use as much road either on the way into paddock bend at the bottom there. He just gives it the big send rally style.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to be the guy that tells Petter Solberg how to drive and how to manage his tyres, because it's very spectacular while he does it, but he's certainly not getting away from Markland, is he? And Markland is noticeably tidy.
Markland trying to come around the outside on the dirt. I don't think he'll have a look there. There just isn't the traction to do it. But it's Timmy Hansen who is the danger man for the front two. Still yet to joker Petter Solberg and Anton Markland. You have to joker on this next lap, so we're going to see a race to the joker lap exit.
Remember also that we know that Solberg is through to the semis anyway. Is he saving a better set of tyres for the semis and the final?
Very, very good point. Very, very good point. So he might have stuck something old on. Only 8 tyres, as Tim Harvey said earlier on, so you have to manage them with a strategy. Into the Joker. Petter dives in, down the hill, he's on the brakes. Hansen on the inside. Hansen's looking good. Can Hansen hold it on the tarmac on the inside? He does. It is an easy move to the lead for Timmy Hansen. Oh, behind him, there's contact between Doran and Faust. Markland's almost caught up in that as well. Faust up the inside of Markland. So Markland, now slots in behind Faust, and Doran into 5th place.
Yeah, that was 3 abreast into the dust cloud, wasn't it? And it's Faust that comes out of the head of that 3. But at the front, it's Solberg has lost that lead.
Timmy Hansen, with Timmy Hansen style, tidy driving. He was very, very fast here when he joined the European Championship a couple of years ago. In the World Championship now, he does the same again. Up and over the finish line, the checkered flag waves. It's a win for Timmy Hansen. What's the time like? 2:56.2. That's pretty good too.
That's another 2 seconds quicker than the last heat.
Great job by Timmy Hansen. We can have a look at the full result and everybody's lap times. Timmy Hansen with a 2:56.2, Luke Solberg on a 2:53. Tanner Faust, Anton Mark and Liam Doran all almost inside the 3 minutes. And this is the combined standings where they would be, but of course we've still got drivers still to come. Kenneth Hansen, Timmy Hansen spotter of course, and his father is up in the Armed Spotters Tower, and he's with Neil Cole now.
It's a great time, great drive by Timmy, but great strategy as well to joker early.
Absolutely, we had a good cooperation, and we had this plan, but you know, it's not always it worked as you wish, but this time it did, and he felt the car was great last time, but you know, the track conditions was not the same, so now he could show really his performance, so it's great.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Replays from that last race. See what Timmy did. Off to the left-hand side on the very first lap, but at the last minute, decision here. Look, it looks like they're all going that way. Timmy almost squeezed Faust. Was it a fake? I mean, was he going to go that way anyway?
I think he was hit. I can't imagine he wasn't going to take it. So I don't know why he was bothering with the squeeze, but it worked out for him, and we've seen that quite a lot with cars taking the joker early.
Quite clever, I suppose, because it made Faust think, look, maybe I'm not going to be able to take the joker. I may have to commit to the right-hand side. And instead, Timmy goes into the joker lap and comes out in front. Great job by him. And that is a very, very fast time.
Welcome to Lydden Hill, the home of Rallycross, and today we look to the future of the brightest British talents from the worlds of racing, rallying and Rallycross. And today, one of them will be the winner of the inaugural RX Talent Search, and the prize is a drive in an RX Lite at World Rallycross Turkey. A panel of judges were assessing the candidates, led by World RX Managing Director Martin Anai.
The main thing that we're looking for is we're a championship promoter, and that's why you guys are here, because we want a future world champion, and we want that world championship contender to be British.
First one up, but yeah, it was awesome. Well, I'm totally from a single-seater background, so massive weight transfer with this car. The brakes are pretty good, but surprised, once you get the direction change on the gravel, how you can manage it quite easily once the weight's transferred. So yeah, it was awesome to drive.
We're looking just generally how they approach it, how the outlap is, how they attack, whether using the whole track.
But also how hard they are on the car, because if they're getting quick lap times, that's great. But is the car going to make it through a race weekend? That's another question. So if you can get someone very smooth, very good on the car, very easy on the car, and very fast, then obviously that's the best.
The car I drive at the minute is a Suzuki Swift. That's got 120 brake horsepower, near or less. And this has got 310, so what a boost that is.
The daring dozen drivers were whittled down to a fast final four before the winner was announced.
But the person who's won today, and I hope will be an amazing ambassador for the RX Lights in Turkey, is Tom Monslow-Cole.
After this day, I'm really impressed that the level was high. They listened. They did a lot of good professional guys mixed with young, good talents. We need good drivers all around the world to make the World Championship really, really great to watch and see.
I'm amazed that it's come true. This is an incredible prize. I can't wait to get out to Turkey and have a go for real in a race environment. But this actually puts you on an incredibly large platform, and hopefully it's something I can build off, do a good job, and be back to do some more, and one day a full season.
Heat 4, race 5. On the inside, Matthias Ekström, Guy Wilkes, who went very, very fast in Heat 3, Topi Häkkinen, the winner from Belgium, Larsen, who was so dangerous here last year, and Linnerud on the outside. So 2 polos from the 2 different teams. We've got the Audi S1 on the inside of Ekström, the Mini, great to have them along with JRM Racing. And of course, Larsen's Audi as well. That's a fairly long hold. It's a great start by Guy Wilkes, but Ekström as well. Ekström is going to have the inside line down towards turn 1. Guy slots straight in behind him, all the way across the dirt on the outside. Linnerud, Larsen, but Häkkinen has been left standing on the line.
Yeah, he's got going now. The start line on the Canterbury Straight, he's got going, but that was an excellent start by Ekström, and Wilkes looked like he wanted him to slot in front and just tuck in behind. There's that understeer on the Mini. Guy trying to kick the back end out on the power. Looks better than it looked yesterday, doesn't it? And in Heat 3, suddenly, we saw it morning warm-up. We know they're working on the handling of this car. Only the 1.6, but slightly lighter and going really well. I'm impressed with Wilkes. No racecraft, of course, because he's a rally man. Although he owns a karting centre up north, which, of course, is back in this. So hopefully he's been out in the karts and having a little go. He's certainly got a bit of car control, hasn't he? He has, yeah. He's got a great amount of car control. So Häkkinen is creeping down the hill past the commentary position now. So PG, of course, with that engine problem in the last heat. And Häkkinen with it in this. He's just gone past the commentary position. We can see him. You can't. Ekström down towards Devil's Elbow. Well, as I said, the Markland team did say it affected Topi's car as well, the engine power situation. That clearly hasn't cleared itself, and he's just struggling around now. So last week's winner really having a difficult day today. No such problems for Matthias Ekström. Ekström down the hill into his the last corner. In, of course, the car built by his own team. Really passionate about this. Took a win last year in Sweden. Was very, very emotional. He loves rallycross. Was around the paddock a lot as a youngster. Came in last year and did an incredible job to win at Hollius. A real mecca for rallycross in front of his home crowd. And this year struggled a little bit with the results. This is looking more promising. He's managed to gap Guy Wilkes a little bit, but not much. And behind Wilkes, look in the background, we can see Larsen coming through in the other Audi. So gaps between these. Larsen has joked already. Wilkes could be in danger, maybe. It's going to be tight between them. I like that line, but I do like the way Ekström drives the car. If I was going to be a rallycross driver, that's how I'd like to drive it. I'd like to be able to drive it like that as well. You might be in a better position than me to do it, Tim. But yeah, tidy, but with that little bit of oversteer. He doesn't look like he's struggling to get it turned in. Into the Joker lap. Here we go. Matthias Ekström round the right and the left. A little bit of understeer on the way into the right-hander. Up and over the jump. That's Larsen on the inside. Larsen's managed to overlap Wilkes. There he is. Wilkes comes out in the Mini. He's going to manage to get back across to the inside line. And he's in front of Linnerud. So it's another good drive by Wilkes. Turning the Mini into Devil's Elbow and up the hill, but Larsen did just manage to pip him. Yeah, that's all the Joker's done last lap, obviously. Haven't had anyone forget today, have we? No, we did last year, of course. Faust and Solberg both caught out by Marshall post number 1, which they thought was 1 lap to go, and it's not. Okay, Häkkinen has just pulled off the circuit at the bottom of the hill, out just to the right of where you'll see now. Häkkinen has pulled off the circuit. That means he's going to get lapped, and I think that's going to be a DNF for him. Winning the heat race is Ekström from Larsen and Wilkes. Topi's just gone over the finish line. We've got a wonderful view from the Iron Spotters Tower. There he is, heading down into Chesson Strip. A problem for Häkkinen, and it remains to be seen whether or not he's going to make it through to the top 12. Here's the result of race 5 in Heat 4. Matthias Ekström with a 2:56.1. That's even faster than Hansen went. Larsen, Wilkes, Linnerud and Häkkinen with that DNF because he got lapped. That's the standings as they are at the moment, but we've still got 1 race to go. Neil Cole is up in the Iron Spotters Tower with us, and he's with one of the spotting crews.
That all came together for Matthias, the quickest time so far.
Yes, it was. I mean, the start was good, so he could take the lead and then just build up the gap for the Joker lap, and then everything went fine. That's as planned.
But you can't plan for what the other drivers are going to do, and luckily they all left him alone.
Yeah, we plan in front, but you never know what happened in the race then, but you try to do your best.
Thank you, well done.
Let's see some of the action from Heat 4 race 5. Away from the line, there was Heikkinen, so the problem seems was at the line.
Well, that looked like a stall to me, but he got it going, but it never had any power. And up front, Larson straight into the Joker, it was a clear start for Matthias Ekstrom with Guy Wilkes going behind him on the regular run.
That was Ekstrom over the jump, and you can see in the background there, Wilkes overlapped by Larson on that different tactic. But Ekstrom on an absolute flyer in the EKS Audi S1. Final heat race of Heat 4 is lining up on the grid. Look at that beautiful blue skies and sunshine in the Garden of England, Lydden Hill in Kent. Fantastic weather for round 4 of the World Rallycross Championship. And here is how they line up for the fastest drivers from Heat 3. Andrew Jordan, who won the heat on home ground. He's on pole in this race, but look who he's up against. Andreas Bakkerud, the winner here last year. Davy Genet, his Peugeot Hansen teammate. Reinis Nittisch and Johan Kristoffersen. This will be interesting.
What a lineup.
Andrew Jordan on the inside. Now, Andrew's grid draws just happened to put him on the outside in every race so far. So where will Jordan go? We know he's not going to be able to make it across towards the Joker. We think he won't. Great start by Andrew Jordan. Backwards alongside him. Genet tries to put the squeeze on. Oh, AJ's been squeezed out. So Bakkerud takes the lead, and Genet's going to stop it in front of Jordan as well. Jordan has a look up the inside and around the outside. Kristoffersen went to the Joker lap. There is Andrew in the dust, on board with Dave Genet, looking forward towards Bakkerud.
Yeah, you know, Andy got a good start, but he didn't want to stick it up the inside of Bakkerud, and in doing so, he ended up losing the place to Genet as well. So unless you make a perfect start off pole, it's not necessarily the best place to be.
Because those bollards on the inside, there's no room, is there? It's not like you can put it up on the curb. You know, you've either got to concede or really drive hard into the side. Or Bakkerud slightly sideways there. Genet with the tidier start behind is looking faster. Look how fast this chicane is. Incredibly quick over there and down onto the gravel section. These three then opting not to Joker, while Kristoffersen and Nittisch went on the first one. Are they going to go for the complete opposite strategy, do you think, and just Joker on the last lap?
Yeah, I think so. If I'd been Andy Jordan, I probably would have taken the Joker on that lap, give himself some clear air, and hopefully come out in front of Kristoffersen and Nittisch. But we'll see where it plays out.
Kristoffersen and Nittisch are closing down up the hill. You can see the front three heading in at the top of Hairy Hill into the hairpin. It really is steep, both up and down. Helps you on the brakes on the way up. You've got to get a great exit from Devil's Elbow. Then down here, they carry so much pace. Look at Genet. Genet's all over the back of Bakkerud. Bakkerud backs it in, but it's not as fast, I don't think.
No, it's not. And Andy Jordan loses a bit of time through that section, then close it up over the rest of the lap. Genet, very tidy, looking like he was trying to get up the inside. Is he close enough for a lunge up the inside in Devil's Elbow? Not this lap.
I think they're going to go for time here, and I think that's why Andrew's conceded down at turn 1. You know, slot in. He knows these guys are fast. Yeah, of course he preferred to be out in front, but where he's at the minute, I think Andrew was 5th after the last one. All these guys are sitting quite pretty in qualifying. Contact or something silly would be daft at this time of the day.
You're absolutely right. I'm sure Father Mike's had a word in his ear to say, look, steady result will get you nicely into a good position for the semi-finals. Once again, Bakkerud wide coming through Paddock Bend.
If I was Genet, I'd be looking to go now. Oh, he does, but Bakkerud's gone too, so they've all gone. Of course, last lap, they had to go this time round. Who's going to get a great Joker? Andrew Jordan closes up on the brakes. On board now with Bakkerud, looking back. He's going to come out into the dirt. Is he going to be looking back at the other drivers? He is! Oh, brilliant job. Bakkerud comes out in front of Kristoffersen. Genet's alongside him. Down towards the Devil's Elbow. Andrew Jordan is caught in a massive dust cloud at the back. It doesn't matter. Nittisch up the inside of Genet. That's going to cost Genet time at the hill. Andrew Jordan can make the pass if he can get the power down, but Genet now chasing Nittisch. Nittisch is in the centre of the track. Oh, Genet's fighting up the inside. Brave move. Great job. He's going to get him done. Andrew Jordan's going to have a look at following through as well. But Jordan has to stop him behind Nittisch. Great drive, David Genet. Round the bottom corner. Bakkerud is in the lead, but a fantastic last lap after the Joker that merge. It's Bakkerud who takes the win. Second place goes to Kristoffersen. Then it's Genet with that fantastic move at the hairpin. Nittisch and Jordan. What a drive by Genet there.
Yeah, it was a great... that was like a good old-fashioned touring car race, wasn't it?
That was proper.
But they've all got a good time out of that.
Here's the results then of the final heat race of the day. Andreas Bakkerud 2:57.3. Then it's Kristoffersen, Genet, Nittisch and Jordan. Here are the replays from that one. This was on board, I think, with Bakkerud. It was, and there was Andrew Jordan getting squeezed out, and Genet ending up wide as well. Jordan looked like he was going to... This is where Andrew Jordan's up the inside, but he can't quite get it done.
Nowhere for him to go. Great drive by Bakkerud. This was a great race. And this is the final bit as they came back on. Bakkerud through, Genet coming back, but he's on the outside. Up the hill.
And this was, look at this, from a long way back. Really, really impressed with Genet getting through a tiny bit of contact, but I think that was fair.
Yeah, that was fine. That was fine. Last lap up the inside. Probably don't suppose it actually made them either any quicker, but it made him feel better, didn't it?
Let's have a look at the intermediate standings then. After Heat 4, this is it. This is how they stand for the semi-finals. Solberg, TQ again. Matthias Ekstrom second. Kristoffersen, Bakkerud, Nittish. Andrew Jordan through in 6th. Timmy Hansen, Tord Linnerud. Wilks is through in 9th. And then we've got Stoll 10th, Larson 11th, and Davy Genet in 12th. So all 3 of the Peugeot Hansen cars have made it through. This is the split. Odds to semi-final 1, evens to semi-final 2. So Solberg, Kristoffersen, Nittish, Hansen, Wilks, and Larson. And then it's Ekstrom, Bakkerud, Jordan, Linnerud, Stoll, and Genet.
So a very strong and consistent performance by Team Peugeot Hansen. 3 cars here at Lydden Hill this weekend. And we should find all 3 drivers here. Let's see if we can grab a word. First up, there's Timmy Hansen. Timmy, you find yourself 7th overall through to the semi-finals, but not the easiest way to do it. Very quick time in Heat 4, but tricky in Heat 3.
Yeah, I think it's all sorted in Heat 2. I got a puncture, really unfortunate. And in Heat 3, then I was in the first heat, and they just watered the track, and that's worth about 2 seconds a lap when they've done that. So I lost 8 seconds during that heat, so that was a lot. But still, we made a really, really good Heat 4 to climb from 15th in the standings to 7th. So really happy about the last heat, and the speed is really good. The starts are fantastic now, so I'm very, very optimistic, actually.
We can see that you're hungry for a win, and you've clearly got the speed. This circuit seems to suit you.
Yeah, this circuit suits me. I love this place, and the car is now as one with the circuit, and I'm at one with the car. You know, it's I'm not so at home here.
Well, you're having a very zen afternoon. Good luck, Timmy. If we carry on round to the next car, flying the French flag, is Davy Genet, who just about makes it through to the semi-finals, lying in 12th at the intermediates. Let's jump in for a quick word. Sorry to interrupt. Kenneth, your team are doing pretty well today, aren't they?
Yeah, really good. I mean, we have the 3 drivers in the semi-final, so that feels great. That was one of our goals, of course.
One of the goals. And Davy, you're doing a very good job. Just made it through. Talk us through the heats.
Yes, it's good for me. I'm very happy because my beginning of the weekend is difficult. But now it's good. The car is fast. And for the semi-final, I have a good chance. Yes.
It's nice to see you fighting out there as well. It's great driving. Nice one, Davy. Now, if we swing around to your left, Bob, we go underneath the Union flag and we find here for a one-off drive, birthday boy Andrew Jordan. So Andrew Jordan, back at Lydden Hill, and you're in the semis again. This is great news.
Yeah, really, really enjoying being back. The highlight of the weekend so far is obviously topping Heat 3. In my home event, I could see the crowd going pretty mental after it, which was really cool. So through to the semis, which was my aim. But anything can happen. It's going to be tough. You know, now this is when the real racing starts, and we need to get elbows out.
But particularly impressive, really, because you've not had any time in this car. You've jumped into it from a different discipline, and you're absolutely ripping it up. It's great to watch you out there.
Thanks very much. Yeah, the first time I sat in this car, or I drove the car, was yesterday morning, and it was quite a bit different than I expected compared to the car I tested previously with Peugeot. So really enjoying my comeback, and hopefully we can get through to the final.
Right, elbows out. Have a great birthday and a great race.
Thanks. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Almost time for the semi-finals for round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship from Great Britain. Lydden Hill, a packed house here today. The fans all having a look currently at some Group B cars heading around the circuit. Will Gollop, a previous European champion with his Metro 6R4. A little bit cloudy now. It was sunshine this morning. We haven't had any rain, and it's been fantastic action all day long. The drivers have been paraded out onto the circuit. There is Will Gollop in the iconic 6R4. If you're of a similar vintage to me, that will be familiar to you. And Will leaning out the car and waving Petter Solberg style. Ford RS200 behind him. Some wonderful, wonderful machines, and we're about to see the modern day equivalent. Well, that's just a taster of what you've got to come here for round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship from Lydden Hill in the UK. There's a packed house eagerly anticipating the semi-finals. There are 2 British drivers through to there, and we're looking forward to seeing them in action. My name is Andrew Coley. Alongside me, as was last year, Tim Harvey, back for a bit of World Rallycross action. Tim, enjoying yourself?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I can't believe how this championship has ramped itself up in just 1 year. It's just off the scale exciting now.
Cannot wait, cannot wait. Absolutely packed, as you can see. Let's have a look and see where we've been so far and where we've still got to go this year. So we've had 4 rounds in just 5 weeks. GB is the 4th of those. Belgium last week, and then straight across the English Channel here to Lydden Hill in the Garden of England down in Kent, the southeast of the country. There everybody is, waiting to go. We've got a light breeze, a little bit of cloud. We're going to catch up with some of the semi-finalists before we start. Earlier on, Neil Cole managed to catch up with Guy Wilkes, who will be in semi-final number 2.
Representing Great Britain here at Lydden Hill, brand new set of wheels for you, doing incredibly well. Talk us through your progress to the semi-finals.
Well, it's been hard work, definitely. Yesterday we were struggling a little bit. We had a problem with the car. We couldn't quite put our finger on it, but the guys last night, when they had a bit of time, we found out what it was. We've fixed that. It wasn't necessarily anything was broken, it was just a setting that had changed on the car. The diff preload had gone on the rear. But yeah, we've had a cracking start to Rallycross collectively. Myself, the team, JRM, the Mini, KNE, it couldn't be better.
And you've proved to all the other drivers that you're not scared to get involved. So what are you going to do in the semi-final?
I play fair. This is my first time I've been here. I don't think I've done too badly so far. So, yeah, the heats, I made it in my head a long time ago. If I was going to come here, I saw the heats here had to be clean. No problems. And that's what we've done. Great, we won 1 heat, then we got put in with the big boys today. And I can't remember, we had a 2nd and a 3rd. And yeah, it's a great start, but the job's not done yet.
So what is the strategy with the semi-finals? You've got to choose when you joker. What are you going to do?
Are you telling me that the drivers in this game give you a strategy before they even start a race? I don't think so. You know, with us, yes, we know what the car's capable of. The guys are a bit better off the start than us. Really, we have to, or should I say, it's more down to me. I say we, but collectively as a team, it's more down to me. I have to make that decision instantly, whether I get a good start or whether the others get a slightly better one. And it's all down to that.
All the best.
Cheers, thanks very much.
Well, Guy Wilkes, obviously very excited to have made it through to the semi-finals. He's not the only British driver. Andrew Jordan has made it through to the semis again. The big question is, will either of them make it through to the final? We're going to have a little look back at some of the crunch time races from Heat 4 earlier on today. So Faust not with the greatest weekend. You can see him here, 2nd from the right-hand side. He had a problem with his brake bias yesterday and a very, very late decision to go to the joker lap there, Tim.
Yeah, most people on the outside going for the joker lap first. Solberg, though, making it work off the line. A great start from him. He takes the traditional route.
He was dominant, wasn't he, on day 1 as well. He won both heats 1 and 2, but he couldn't win either of the heats today. Andrew Jordan, in fact, it was that won heat 3. So great job by him. And, you know, Tanner again, side by side, that very, very fast run on the gravel down towards Devil's Elbow, which, of course, is where Petter came a cropper last year. That's Timmy Hansen, was on an absolute fly. The Peugeot Hansen seemingly going better today than they did yesterday. Problems for Heikkinen,
Last week's winner, Topi Heikkinen, left on the line. Disaster for him. He won't even make the semis.
None of them have made it through. PG Anderson's not there and Tanner Faust either. So just a few little niggly engine problems today. We saw it also for Manfred Stahl, had a problem with his engine. Even Petter Solberg, one tiny little engine cut and he went backwards in the field. Such is the pace at the front. Guy Wilkes in the Mini, you saw him in the back of the shot there. He's been going real. Matthias Ekström, one of the guys that Petter is a little bit scared of.
Fastest in the Heat 4 runoff.
Great job by him. Christopherson on the outside of this one. This is on board. I think that's the shot that we've been seeing from Baccarat all weekend. You can see it was bright blue skies and sunshine this morning. That was Andrew Jordan having to slot in behind. He'd gone fastest in Heat 3. He had to drop in behind Baccarat and teammate Genet. Just on the run down to the first corner. Very sensible, though. He didn't need to do anything there. He knew he'd made it through to the finals, Tim, semi-finals.
But discretion, the better part of valor for Andy Jordan. But then look at this on the last lap. Everybody coming together and on board with Genet. A last-minute dive up the inside into the north bend, and he pulls it off.
Absolutely outstanding pass. Similar to the one, of course, that Andrew Jordan pulled off on Heikkinen here last year. So just that little nudge of contact. Baccarat, last year's winner, took that heat race. What can he do here in the semi-finals? Well, let's have a look at the intermediate standings and exactly where those guys do end up in which of the semi-finals. There are your top 16. Remember, all of those get points, but only the top 12 go through. Anderson hasn't made it through. Look, Marken hasn't. Heikkinen hasn't. Faust hasn't. And there's more further down the list. Odd numbers go to semi-final number 1, evens to semi-final number 2. Guy Wilkes and Andrew Jordan, you can see, are in the second semi-final together. This is what we've got coming up for you in the next hour. The live Supercar semi-finals for the World Championship. The live RX Lights final from Lydden Hill. And then, of course, who is going to win round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Neil Cole was down on the pre-grid earlier on, and he caught up with Johan Kristoffersen, who is in this first semi-final.
So, Johan, everything's set for the first semi-final. All weekend so far, you seem to find yourself locked in battles with Petter Solberg, and it's going to happen again. What's the strategy?
We'll see. I will try to get a good start, and I will just have to take it from there. And it's so really close on the lap times here between a lot of drivers. So it's all about to be out of the traffic and just put in 6 quick lap times. That's what it's about to get to the final.
You've been putting in quick lap times all morning and yesterday. What is the secret? You're so quick this year.
I have a very good team behind me, and I have a really good partners which supports us a lot. And yeah, we have a lot of experience in the team, and we are developing the car all the time. It's getting quicker and quicker, and we have the good atmosphere in the team to do the small changes to get the car even quicker during the weekend. And we have done quite a lot of changes now, and a little bit of gambling, and we'll see if it turns out to be good.
Obviously, you're very focused. You're a very smart driver, but there might be a slight distraction today. Congratulations. Explain what's just happened today.
Yeah, 10 o'clock this morning I had a kid, my first son, back home in Sweden. So yeah, emotional day, but I will just have to try to stay focused on this and yeah, but everything is fine, and I'm very, very happy about that as well. So
congratulations, have a great race.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely mega bloke, Johan Kristoffersen, winning everything that he does, and then comes here this morning, has a quick baby before free practice this morning. I mean, absolutely fantastic. He's all smiles. He is a brilliant, brilliant driver. Here's the front row then of Supercar semi-final number 1, Petter Solberg and new dad Johan Kristoffersen. Row 2 is Reinis Nittisch and Timmy Hansen. And row 3, Tord Linnerud and Robin Larsson. Now Larsson, of course, performed here brilliantly last year. Will he do the same here? Solberg on the inside, Kristoffersen on the outside, the 2 World Championship front runners. Solberg, great start. Kristoffersen squeezing everybody over to try and go down the joker lap. Kristoffersen desperately wants to go down to the joker lap. He does it. He's pushed Timmy Hansen wide. Larson in behind him. Solberg has gone to the standard lap. Tim Harvey, I wasn't expecting that.
It looked like a planned move as well by Kristoffersen, because he launched in the direction of the joker lane, so he planned it that way.
He just slammed the door in their face, didn't he? So he absolutely wanted to do that. We've seen this tactic, this first lap joker lap tactic, has worked in qualifying. Maybe wasn't expecting to see it there. Didn't even try to contest the first corner with Petter Solberg, so very interesting indeed. There are your back three. All of those guys have jokered already. Out front, Petter Solberg, what's he going to try and do, Tim? Is he going to try and gap them? And more importantly, do you think he's got the tyres left to do so?
Well, I think they're all at the same sort of stage with tyres, although I do think that Petter's been very hard on his tyres up until now. Yes, he stays on the standard line. We'll have to see if he can build up enough of a lead. There's a lot of water down around Cheshunt's Drift now.
There is indeed. They wet the track in between to keep the dust down. Same for everyone. Linnerud didn't joker on lap one. Joker's now bang straight to the back of the field. So Linnerud is out this one. Remember, the top three will go through. He does just manage to get through in front of Larson. Those two are sideways on the run down towards Devil's Elbow. Both of them are out of the mud and the dust and back onto the standard lap. So at front, though, Solberg with a little bit of a gap between Nittish and then Kristoffersen in third.
But did you see how much time Linnerud lost at the end there, and Larson as well, by going wide on that wet, slimy outside of Cheshunt's Drift as they rejoined? Good idea of Petter to leave this to the last lap.
So Petter in on the inside line. There you can see how wet it is. Just manages to tag that tarmac line on the inside so he can get a bit of traction. He's doing well to pull away from Nittish. Tim, we've seen a joker lap time of, we think, around 4 seconds.
That's what we think, yeah. I think slightly less on the very first lap, which is why there's an advantage in taking it. And we'll have to see what happens when Kristoffersen and Solberg get together at the end. They've both been equally rapid this weekend.
They have indeed. It's come down to the joker lap between those two guys. There is the shot from the arms. That's where we're standing. That's why you can hear the wonderful noise of Petter Solberg coming down and pulling a gear in the middle of that corner, Tim. He's been doing it all weekend. He's been making you grin.
Oh, I love it. We're only about 50 yards away, and Petter launches it in, big armful of opposite lock, and pulls a gear halfway through the corner. It is spectacular.
Absolutely fantastic stuff from the Norwegian. Of course, the current World Rallycross champion, and looking strong this year. Extended his lead at the last round by another 7 points. Maybe looking to do the same here at Lydden Hill. Look at the gap he's made on Nittish. It's about Kristoffersen in third, but I'm not really sure what the gap between the two of them is. It's nearly 5 seconds, Tim.
Yeah, it is. I think he's done enough, hasn't he? He's really having a go. This is fantastic. This is Petter Solberg, everybody, in full attack, flat-out mode.
Flat out indeed, he is indeed. Same as he was last week. Of course, last week he had to do it because he needed to double joker, having made a jump start. This week, I mean, this is a hell of a marker to put down to the rest of the World Championship field.
It's not been plain sailing, though. We had a problem in the earlier heat where he lost power, so it's not all plain sailing. They have had punctures as well, and this is a 6-lap race, unlike the heats, which are only 4.
So who's got the best tyres left? Nittish into Devil's Elbow. The leading two have not jokered yet. What's going to happen when Nittish goes? Timmy Hansen is down in 4th place, and he could possibly stand to overlap Nittish as well. Oh, Kristoffersen backs it in at the top of the hill. Nicely done. We've seen Nittish lock a couple of wheels up. It's going to come down to the joker, Tim.
It is going to come down. We'll see if it goes on this lap.
They'll have to, I think. Yep. They're going to have to go on this lap. Watching Petter Solberg, we are on to the final lap. In goes Petter Solberg. Here we go. So the world champion, the leader here by a very big margin indeed. Kristoffersen sweeps into the gravel on the inside. Here comes Petter out and over the crest. So Petter comes out. Kristoffersen slots in. Top 3 are going to go through. It's going to be really, really tight. But it's going to be Nittish. Nittish is ahead of Hansen. I thought he might fall back behind Hansen there, but he's managed to do it. Hansen's going to have a look at Devil's Elbow. Can he get a good run through? Oh, Hansen's right in the back of Nittish. It's going to be a run up towards the hairpin. We've seen Genet take a dive up the inside here. Is Hansen going to be brave enough? Nittish moves across to cover the line on the inside. Hansen carries a load of speed in. A little nudge up the back end. It's now a drag race down the hill between these two. Only the top 3 go through. The rear tyre is smoking on Nittish's car. Solberg and Kristoffersen are past the common position now into the final corner. Solberg takes the win. Behind him, Kristoffersen goes through in second, and Nittish holds on for third.
Wow, what a race. Remember that it's only the top 3 go to the final. That's why that place was so important.
Let's have a look at the result of semi-final number 1. Solberg, Kristoffersen and Nittish are through to rows 1, 2 and 3. Hansen, Linnerud and Larson are out. Neil Colt, is up in the Iron Spotters Tower, and he is with Petter Solberg's team.
Superb drive there by Petter. Good tactics too. A great semi-final win.
Yeah, it worked out in the end. We had small problems in third and fourth heat. Struggled a little bit, so we just had to get a reasonable time there. Pole in the semi. Very good start, and then it's just to try to save the tires, and you try to keep calm and just don't split times all the time. So I was controlled and calm.
I think you had a fuel pump issue in Heat 3, but also I understand you've been using used tyres, and this is the first time you put a brand new set of boots on the car. Very, very crafty.
Yeah, that's also. We had 2 issues in third and fourth heat. We had a fuel problem, so with the engine not getting fuel, obviously it's not running so fast. Now we have sorted that one out, and we have also another tactic regarding tires. I think it will work. So, yeah, cross fingers for the final now, and we will push.
Thank you.
Crowd there, starting to put their jackets on. Here's the replays from semi-final number 1. And that was Kristoffersson just barging his way all the way across, moving everybody across to the side of the track. Solberg left to go and make a gap for himself.
Yeah, also, it meant that both he and Christensen didn't have a muddy windscreen. You saw how muddy it was at the end. A good tactic by both of them. And as we suspected, Solberg had kept a set of new tyres for the semis and the final. What a masterstroke.
No wonder he got more and more sideways as the day went on, was it? So brand new boots on Petter Solberg's car, and he made great use of them. Didn't need to use them in qualifying. So whilst the sky looks nice and bright, up in the commentary position in the Iron Spotters Tower, we are seeing spots of rain on the front and the side canopies. As I say, the crowd are going for jackets and umbrellas, or T-shirts if they're feeling brave. It is still nice and warm, and obviously the dirt section of the track is wet already. Supercar semi-final number 2, Matthias Ekström on pole with Andreas Backerud alongside him. Andrew Jordan and Guy Wilkes, all British row 2. And Manfred Stoll and Davy Genet bringing up the rear. Now the top 3 went through in the last semi-final. Solberg, Kristoffersson and Nittish made it. Can Andrew Jordan do the same and make it through to the final? Will Guy Wilkes make it through to the final on his debut in the World Rallycross Championship? Away from the line, great start by Jordan. He slots in straight away. Oh, it's contact on the way down to turn 1 between Ekström and Backerud. Backerud's been pushed wide. Andrew Jordan's gone up the inside, so this is Ekström, Andrew Jordan. Backerud slots into 3rd place with Manfred Stoll behind him, and to the Joker lap went Wilkes and Genet.
Backerud tried to tough it out on the outside. That was a mistake. Now he's coming back up the devil's elbow out the inside of Jordan. Wow,
Brilliant.
He's fought back quickly. That was fantastic.
Brilliant pass there. I don't know if you caught Andrew unaware, but that was, and it was clean too. A great pass up the inside from Backerud then. Home crowd won't be pleased with that. On board with him. And we can see now rain is starting to fall heavily. That's going to make a big difference to the tarmac. They haven't done much running in the wet, but let's wait and see how this one goes. Ekström in front and Backerud in 2nd place.
And Wilkes is in front of Genet at the back. Look, that's a great effort by him. They both took the Joker lap first. This could work out well for him.
So Wilkes has held on ahead. Backerud very, very sideways. Everybody running much, much wider through Chestnut Drift now. Manfred Stoll comes out from the Joker lap. He's alongside Davy Genet at the back. Where's he going to slot in? Wilkes goes sideways. Stoll is super sideways in the background, but Wilkes hold on. Genet as well, and then Stoll up behind them. So these 3 then have jokered and the front 3 haven't. So this is all going to come down to whether or not they can make enough of a gap to pull back out in front of these guys. At the minute, it is not.
Isn't it great to see a Mini going round Lydden Hill, founded here in 1955 by Bill Chesson, of which Chesson's Drift is named after.
Wilkes into the corner at the bottom of the hill. JRM Racing will be very, very pleased with this. Developing the car, continuing to develop the car. Development year for them, but some fantastic results here. Genet having a little look. Oh, he's run wide. Wilkes has gone wide. Genet goes up the inside. Wilkes gets back on the inside. He's back on the power. Finds some traction on the gravel. Gives Genet a bit of a shove. He's going to get back down inside him again. Those 2 swapping places on the way in and the way out.
That's great racing, isn't it? This little bit of water has added a little bit of spice to it, because if you do get out wide now, Chessons, you're going to be slow off the corner. It's been fantastic. Still got that final Joker to take for Ekström, Backerud and Jordan.
Ekström passes the commentary position now. Backerud's right behind him. Jordan not too far back either. But it's all about whether or not they can make enough of a gap to these guys. Genet has a look at the inside. If these guys aren't careful, they're going to hold each other up, Tim, and let the front 3 get away.
Well, that has happened already. They've already done some fighting amongst themselves. It'll just depend what happens when they... I mean, I think it's going to be... Certainly, Ekström has enough of a gap. Bakkerud, I think, does as well. Possibly Jordan as well. Jordan is going to be the difficult one to watch. I don't think he has enough to get back on after the Joker in front of Wilkes and Genet.
Genet and Wilkes locked in battle. Wilkes just seems to have gapped Genet just a tiny little bit. We need to see whether or not the front three are going to Joker on this lap or the final lap. In the last race, of course, we saw it really was a split strategy. 3 went early, 3 went late, and we're going to see the same again. Here's Ekstrom. Ekstrom decides not to go. And Bakkerud's gone. Bakkerud goes to the Joker. Andrew Jordan hasn't. Andrew Jordan goes to the standard lap. So Ekstrom and Jordan still to Joker. Bakkerud comes out. Where's he going to slow out? This is going to give us a good idea of the gap that's needed. How far in front of Wilkes is going to be? Not far. I think Andrew Jordan is in danger here.
It depends. If he does a really good lap on this lap and pulls a little bit extra, I think he's going to come out side by side with Wilkes. And we've already seen how powerful Wilkes is in a battle for third. He's going to give it everything, isn't he?
A British run to the final position, maybe in the semi-final. This is going to be the lap on which it's going to count. Wilkes backs it into the hairpin at the top of the hill. Down at the front, Ekstrom and Jordan have still to Joker. They've come past us now. Bakkerud is already on the back of Jordan. I wonder if Andrew's got a bit of a problem. Here we go, Andrew Jordan into the Joker lap. Ahead of him, Matthias Ekstrom will already be in there, looking to the standard lap on the inside. Bakkerud is coming through. Ekstrom is out already, so Ekstrom is already out in front of Bakkerud. Bakkerud goes through, so does Wilkes, and so does Genet. Andrew Jordan is coming alongside Genet. He won't want to hit Genet. Is there anything he can do on the run down to Devil's Elbow? There isn't. There isn't. Guy Wilkes looks like he's going to make it through to the final on the first run in the JRM Racing Mini. Brilliant performance.
It's fantastic. Let's keep our fingers crossed. An imperious performance by Ekstrom, though. Never put a foot wrong, in the lead all the way, Leicester flag, and well, he's just pulled it off beautifully.
So it's going to be Ekstrom going through to take the win. That's going to see him lining up alongside Petter Solberg with Kristoffersen just behind them. That's what Solberg doesn't want. It's what we want to see, though. Ekstrom makes it through to the final. In second position going through, it's Andreas Bakkerud, last year's winner, and Guy Wilkes in the Mini makes it through to the final on his first run. A brilliant performance by him. Genet, Jordan and Stoll, I'm afraid, are going no further. Stoll coming round to finish off the lap. So Stoll obviously with a bit of a problem, didn't see that, have to say. Checkered flags. We can have a little look at the full result then of semi-final number 2. Matthias Ekstrom taking the win, Andreas Bakkerud second, and Guy Wilkes in third. So we are going to see an Englishman in the final. Then we've got David Genet, Andrew Jordan and Manfred Stoll, unfortunately, are out. Neil Cole is up in the spotters tower.
What a great drive by Matthias. It got a little bit wet, and yet he's even quicker than Petter. This is going to be a very exciting final.
It will be a very exciting final, for sure. I think the first corner did it very much easier for us to come out in front and then just control the race from there.
You seem to have got that car dialed in. It looks so good around this circuit.
Yeah, it works pretty okay, yeah.
And Matthias's state of mind in the car, he seems to be fully on it.
He is very focused, yeah, so it's...
Well done, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a look at the replays from semi-final number 2. Away from the line then. This was the split off, and this, I think, is this on board with Bakkerud? It is. So trying to come around Ekstrom, and Andrew Jordan slips up the inside here, and I thought that would be the move that counted.
At this point, you thought this is great stuff for Andy Jordan, but look what happened. Well, this is later on. This is Guy Wilkes getting it wide. Same problems Bakkerud had, but then fighting back, getting the drive off the corner and fighting back. Bakkerud had already dived up the inside of Andy Jordan into Devil's Elbow there.
Brilliant opportunist passing back by both of them. Bakkerud getting Andrew Jordan, but Guy Wilkes as well. Bearing in mind the guys come from a rally driving background, that was a great piece of racecraft to immediately take Genet back. Ekstrom goes through to the front row, though. The final's going to be mega. 2 brilliant semi-finals for round 4 of the World Rallycross Championship. Won't be long now, and we're having the final lining up for you. Great stuff from Lydden Hill, the birthplace of Rallycross. We're going to have a look at one of the finals that happened earlier on today. We had the touring car final. So away from the line, Souston in the DS3 was the one who got it right. And really, he wasn't headed, Tim, for the entire of the final. We watched this, and he was out in front. You know, Joker lap didn't come into it, just made himself a nice big gap. Job done.
Yeah, we were waiting for something to happen, weren't we? But it never quite did. But he controlled it from the front, didn't make a mistake at all. You can see the track was slightly drier at that stage. Lovely to see a Volvo up there, isn't it?
Lund, last year's champion, doing a good job, but not managing to get to the finish on the podium. Unusual for him. Not quite such a good performance as we saw from him last season. Something which was very special was we had 2 female drivers in the final. Camilla Antonsen and Magda Andersson as well. Great for Magda. She competed in JRX a couple of years ago, you'll remember. And doing a brilliant job to make it through. I think she went through in something like P5 last night. She was very excited. She posted on social media about it. She's so young. She's about 16, 17 years old, and a really great performance from her, and hopefully a strong future in the sport. This is where the Jokers played out. Look at Souston coming through, and there's just nobody anywhere near. Just shut the door. Job done.
Plenty of gap there. Nicely done on the last lap, as we expected. Slipped through, kept the lead.
Gunderson went through as well, and Antonsen. You can see them, and at the rear, Daniel Lund, the current champion, not able to slot back in. Magda Andersson did manage to get in front of Anders Bratton. Great job by her, as I say. Souston then taking the win. European Championship, remember this is for touring cars, centred around Northern Europe because that's where most of the touring cars are based. A clever calendar from IMG this year, the promoters of the World Rallycross Championship, to make sure that each of the events was supported in the right way. Good support from touring cars as well. No Super 1600 here this time, but we have got the RX lights and they are soon to come. That'll be a great final, as always, the young drivers. Here's the results. It was Fredrik Souston with the win from Gunderson, Antonsen, Lund, Andersson and Bratton. Exciting stuff from the touring cars. The umbrellas are going up. The rain is coming down. It's not wet enough, Tim, to go on. It's not wet enough to go on wet tyres.
No, definitely not yet. But it could add a bit of spice to things, couldn't it? Particularly for those that find themselves out wide on Chesson's Drift. We've seen how much that slows the car down with the deep mud there is now. So yeah, an extra bit of spice of life, I think, for the finals.
Very much looking forward to that. Won't be long, and we'll be with you, the RX lights. RX Lights drivers getting ready now. They're on the grid and almost ready to go. Wipers are on. Here's the lineup. Kevin Hansen on pole with Kevin Eriksson alongside him. Those two always battling for the win. Thomas Brinterson and Tobias Brink. And then Simon Olofsson and Oliver Eriksson. So the battle of the two Kevins at the front then. Kevin Hansen and Kevin Eriksson, they're ready to go. Rev limiters are on.
He's very focused, yes.
A really long hold again. Are we going to see a split strategy at the front of the field? Hansen is heading into the standard lap, and we are in. They go 4 cars into the joker lap. That's a mistake, surely, for the two guys at the back. Look at this.
There was an opportunity, wasn't there, for one of them to look how they're holding each other up. There was an opportunity for one of them to slip up the inside and do the standard lap.
Surely as well, if you were on the back row there, you'd be able to say, look, 3 people have gone in there. Would you follow them in? I know these guys, they're only young and they're learning, most of them. We have got some older drivers in it as well. Most of the time you take your cue from your spotter in the tower, but sometimes you've got to decide for yourself.
Off the start, it's split second, isn't it? It's a split second reaction. So, and these cars, they're 4-wheel drive, they're still accelerating 0 to 60 in sort of 3.5, 4 seconds. They're very quick cars. There's not much time to think about it.
Kevin Hansen completing the first lap up and over the chicane, which is so fast. You can hit that big wide curb on the one side, but not on the other. He's got a decent gap here already. Again, I'm wondering if I was the spotter now, I might be thinking about telling Kevin to go, but I think the danger man for him is the other Kevin, who's already been in and came out at the lead of the 4 who went into the joker lap.
Yeah, I think it's too early now. He's got the pace to build up a lead. Let's see if he can do that. Look, they've all got the wipers going now where the rain is starting to come down.
And it's not so much about the dirt, it's now about the tarmac. We can see the colour of the tarmac is starting to change as the track gets more and more damp. They're all going to be on slicks. They're kind of an intermediate anyway. Cooper tyres this year as well for the RX lights, but you wouldn't have gone on a wet.
No, it's the slicks have cuts in them, so they generate temperature around the cuts. That's enough to get these cars hooked up on the tarmac stage until it becomes really wet. But yeah, it's definitely a factor.
Now, if you kept up this week with the news with the World Rallycross Championship, you'll know we had a shootout for the RX Lights here in the UK. The Motorsport Association in the UK teaming up with RX Lights. First corner, the promoter for them, and also Lydden Hill. Oh, bit of carnage at the Joker Lap exit. The beneficiary there, Brinterson. And the winner of that, of course, gets a drive down in Turkey. Oh, up the inside is Oliver Eriksson having a look up the inside. Contact there, heavy contact it is. It's Oliver Eriksson having a look up the inside. I think it was fair enough, though. No wheels off.
That was a good move, good forceful. They're not particularly tough and strong, these cars, so you don't want to be banging into people too hard, but he got away with that one, no problem.
So, yeah, the light shootout. Driver that won it was Tom Onslow-Cole, who, of course, is a touring car driver here in the UK. And he's a Rockstar Energy athlete, so he'll fit in perfectly into the paddock in World Rallycross. Looking forward to seeing how he gets on. Oh, doors are flapping and everything at the back. Laps 4 out of 6. Only Kevin Hansen is left to Joker. So can Kevin Hansen Joker come out in front? He is on the run now, down to Devil's Elbow.
Yeah, that was Olofsson in the yellow car, getting very wide at Paddock Bend, and similar sort of problem to Jessens. Got out wide, got slow off the corner, and Brink was able to get him before they got to the chicane and the timing line.
So the rear four have all jokered. These guys are unlikely now, I think, to change position. We have seen a little bit of argy-bargy. Kevin Hansen comes past the commentary position, and Kevin Eriksson is chasing him hard as always. Those two guys have gapped the rest of the field.
It's pretty tight though, you know. There's only there's only really sort of 3 to just under 4 seconds between them. It's very close. I think that Eriksson is keeping Hansen honest here.
So do I. Hansen is going to have to Joker on the last lap. That's the tactic that they've chosen. On lap 5 out of 6 now. Into Devil's Elbow just in front of us. In the commentary position goes Kevin Hansen. He is heading up the hill. Wipers on at the back, trying to keep the mud off the screen. There is your leader, Kevin Hansen. Behind him, Kevin Eriksson up into the hairpin.
The spotters next to us shouting, push, 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 all the time, encouraging their man on.
Kevin really likes that, doesn't he? We were saying not a lot of drivers would. Obviously, most drivers are pushing as hard as they can, but Kevin seems to really enjoy that constant encouragement. Is it going to be useful to him now as he heads down into the Joker lap? So Kevin Hansen into the Joker lap. This is for the win in RX Lights. To the right and then to the left. It's going to be very, very close between these two. Kevin Hansen's on the gas. He's trying to come around the outside of Kevin Eriksson. Oh, Eriksson seems to like to throw up a little bit too early. He's gone wide. Brilliant job. Kevin Hansen manages to get out in front of Kevin Eriksson. I thought that was going to be even closer than that. What happened there? Do you think Eriksson lit it up too early?
He just got on the gas far too early, but that was exactly what the scenario we thought was going to play out on the last lap.
Kevin Hansen, good job by him, up to the hairpin. Kevin Eriksson is behind him. They've just got the run down the hill into the long right-hander and then past the start-finish. He will take the checkered flag. Oh, Olofsson is off in the gravel, but down at the finish line, 1 corner to go. There he is, Kevin Hansen manages to take the win here in the UK. Second place goes to Kevin Eriksson. And third place is Brinterson. That's Kevin Hansen's first win of the year. Let's see the full race result. Olofsson in the gravel. Hansen with the win. Kevin Eriksson in second. Brinterson in third. Oliver Eriksson fourth. Tobias Brink and Simon Olofsson, as we saw with the DNF right at the end. Bit of a shame.
Down at Devil's Elbow. Doesn't count as a finish, unfortunately for him, but he made the final.
Kevin hanging out the side of the car, celebrating. Looking to emulate his brother and his dad, of course. Two very, very successful rallycross drivers. Look how pleased he is. He absolutely loves it. He's so enthusiastic.
Yeah, it's such a famous name in rallycross, isn't it?
What are they going to do when Kevin is old enough to jump in a supercar as well? Here are the replays from that one. Kevin out front and Kevin Eriksson went straight to the Joker. And Kevin Eriksson here, frankly, held everyone up. He was tidy on the brakes, but he made sure to get it turned in.
Yeah, didn't want to overcommit, did he? This was where Olofsson went wide and lost that position to Brink by getting out on the loose stuff.
Some great overtaking in lights, as always. So one make formula, everybody in the same car. There's only a few things you can change in terms of the suspension setup. So very, very fair. This was Olofsson backwards off into the gravel trap. There have been some very famous names in there. He doesn't need to feel bad about spending time in that gravel trap. Solberg was in there last year. But it was a win for Kevin Hansen. Great job. Championship standings for RX Lights Cup. Kevin Eriksson and Kevin Hansen equal on points. Tobias Brink is in third. Then it's Oliver Eriksson, Sandra Holtgren, Joachim Wahl, Simon Olofsson and Christoph Holovchik. Crowd have one more race to go. We're all looking forward to it. We've just got to get Olofsson's car out of the gravel trap, and then we can get back underway.
Supercar final coming up.
Bakkerud getting ready to go. A little bit of damage on the side of the car. No time here, Tim, between the races to get the car back together. Yeah, it's got to go as it is. That's Petter down on the grid. What's Petter doing with tyres? I wonder. Well, Neil Cole is down in the pre-grid, and he is with Reinis Nitish, one of our finalists, so we'll be able to have a quick chat with him right now.
Well, Reinis, they're cleaning the mud off the Latvian flag on the front of your Fiesta. Are you raring to go for this final?
The car was absolutely black after semi-final. It was hard and dirty all the time, but yeah, the mechanics did good job cleaning the car, and I can say I am ready.
And how is this weather going to affect things? It's wet, but not wet enough to make it too slippery.
I think the tarmac is that it doesn't matter the small rain, you know, and at that moment we will continue to drive with the slick tires, and we'll see how it's gonna be. Because if it's more rain, then we put the rain tires on, and but I think for everybody the same.
Yeah, we can see the mechanics bringing out a variety of tires.
They're running all the time and yeah, they do the job, and to try to be like drivers in the front, in the top.
And you do your job. Have a great final.
Thank you very much.
Choices. There's Petter having a walk back. Petter trying to look relaxed, but not actually looking that relaxed. He still admits to getting nervous. He admitted that at Hockenheim.
I've never known anybody, in terms of his intensity, and the presence he has and everything else, he's a bit like the Ayrton Senna of rallycross. He's looking at every little detail. He's got this aura around him, and it's difficult to compare legends, but he is something special, isn't he?
I think he is, no disrespect, because he won the World Rally Championship once. Sebastian Loeb's won it 9 times, but somehow Petter is easily, if not more popular. He's popular in every country he goes to. They seem to know about him. So just fantastic, and we're actually going to be able to hear from him because Neil Cole has managed to grab him down in the pre-grid.
Petter, unbelievably, it's just started to rain, and quite worryingly, you've got an umbrella in your hand.
Yeah, we are in England. We need I've been Rally Wales many times, and you need an umbrella. And well, it's coming and going a little bit, but it's not so bad.
Well, let's hope you don't have to use that for anything other than keeping the rain off.
I understand, yeah.
And what's the decision with the tyres? Is it wet enough for wet tyres?
No. It's a bit slick, yeah. It's quite easy, and you need quite a lot of rain before you're gonna have to go with the rain tyres. So stick with this. New polished rims, and it's fantastic.
And what's the strategy for this final? You've been fast but cautious for everything up until now. What's going to happen in the final?
Yeah. The thing is, it's been taking care of the tires a lot, and I have quite good tires. So now we have to push, Ekstrom is fast, and, he will be very dangerous, and just have to stay focused, basically, and I enjoy, but I would like to win in England, for sure.
Okay, well, go and get focused and keep that umbrella safe.
Thank you. You can get it.
It's not been the kindest country to him. Petter Solberg, of course, loads of problems here in 2013 when he came here. Last year when he came here, he ended up with a trip to the gravel trap. And Neil's reference to the umbrella there was Finland, of course, last year, where he didn't quite make he qualified for the final but couldn't get the car ready in time, so smashed his umbrella up in a rage in the pre-grid, destroyed it, and then we presented it back to him actually during an interview. We used it as a microphone boom, to much hilarity for us, but not so much for Petter maybe. But he's a very good sport. He's a very good sport. Neil's managed to grab another one of our finalists. You can see him walking alongside him there. He's with Matthias Ekstrom.
Matthias, we just spoke to Petter, and he's scared of you. He knows that you were quicker than him in the semis. What's the strategy now in the final?
No, I think make a decent start and try to have a clean run. And I just hope that the fastest guy may win, and hope stays dry would be nice. But definitely, I'm going to do my best and hope that it's enough.
Well, you look very pumped and focused. Is this rain going to get any worse? Is it going to be okay to stay on slicks?
Yeah, we are slicks.
Okay. Good luck.
Thanks.
Well, we're hearing that everybody in the pre-grid has gone on dry tyres, so they've all gone on slicks.
Not surprising, really. The wet is a very soft compound wet. The final is 6 laps. It wouldn't last unless it was absolutely bucketing down. So yeah, everybody on the slick tyres, and definitely looks like Solberg has the best of those.
Neil is in the pre-grid. He's got a 4th out of 6 finalists. He's doing well. He's with Andreas Bakkerud.
Andreas Bakkerud, sorry to break your concentration on the pre-grid, but I can see that you're ready to race in this final.
Hey, good to see you as well. Yeah, we are in one more final. You know, I want to make this one a good one. I will be pushing hard, I promise you guys that. And you know, I feel it's coming closer and closer. We have done some changes now from the semi-final where Matthias was really quick. So yeah, we're gonna push hard.
Now, literally, as I'm kneeling here next to your car, we can feel the rain's getting heavier. Is there a late tyre change, or are you going to stick with dries?
To be honest, I hope everybody chooses the same. No, it's really slippery on the gravel. This race can go anywhere. Yeah, I think it's going to be a blast, and I think it's good to be home watching now.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
He's such a good lad, Andreas Bakkerud. He really is. And we must point out at this point that Bakkerud and Solberg, of course, remain the only 2 drivers to have made it to every single final. That's what it's about, winning championships, Tim.
It certainly is, consistently, and they're probably consistently the quickest 2 guys out there, aren't they? But the interloper for all the British fans tonight is Guy Wilkes, the first person, new person making a final this weekend of the year, and of course his first World Rallycross meeting as well. So great performance by him and the JRM team.
Fantastic job by him. Let's see what he can do in the final, of course. There's the lovely new race control building here at Lydden Hill.
Big panic to get the cars clean, but I noticed that Ekstrom's car, Matthias Ekstrom's car, the car looked immaculate, as it does always.
The whole of it, yeah.
The team are just, the presentation of that team is superb. You can see his DTM routes with Audi there, everything done fantastically.
I think when he came into the championship last year with a beautifully prepared pit area, everybody else was like, okay, wow, you know, we need to up our game, and they've done so. Track conditions, have a look at that. So Chesson's Drift, this big gravel corner in front of you. There's some wet tarmac on the inside and a few puddles, it looks like, but we know that's mostly from wetting the track. I'm really more interested, Tim, in how wet is this tarmac?
Yeah, well, the tarmac isn't too bad. Remember, these four-wheel drive cars, they're doing a practice start now. They're generating some temperature. I have to say, that practice start just now by Solberg, that car absolutely launched off the line. So they're not going to have any troubles on the start line. But yes, if there's congestion into Chessons on the start, anybody left out wide will be in problems.
The Monster Energy girls have got the jackets on. It is getting colder. There's that breeze, the familiar breeze that you get just before heavy rain. Is he going to come before these guys get off the line? Kristoffersen lines up on row 2. He's in behind Petter. I wouldn't mind betting he'll follow Petter down into turn 1 and maybe hope he runs wide.
Yeah, if he can stay tight behind Petter on his rear bumper on the inside, that's where the grip is. Anybody forced out wide, as we saw Bakkerud in the semi-final, will lose out coming off the corner. So that's what we could end up with. We could end up with Solberg and Kristoffersen coming out of that first corner together.
Ekstrom slides through a little bit later. Wonder if he was late into the car, but Ekstrom pulling up to the front row. Neil has managed to catch up with Tommy Kristoffersen, Johann's dad, who's up in the Ion Spotters Tower now.
Big day for the Kristoffersen family today. Congratulations. And this classic circuit that you know very well, what's the plan for this final with Johann?
I think to survive. We like to catch as many points as possible, and it will be tough out there. We see that we haven't really get the pace this weekend, but we are so happy that we are in the final and have quite a good position for this final. So we take what we get this weekend and hope for the best.
Can you tell us, now that no one else is listening, when's he going to joker?
We will see.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's the lineup for the final of round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Petter Solberg and Matthias Ekstrom on row 1. Behind them, Johann Kristoffersen and Andreas Bakkerud, the winner here last year. And at the rear, Rainis Nitish and the lone Brit, Guy Wilkes. Can't wait for this. There's a packed grid. That's how big the gap should be on all grids, in my opinion. It's going to be tight away from the line. Watch for Solberg, Kristoffersen and Ekstrom on the left-hand side of your screen. Oh, great start by Kristoffersson, but I think he's going to get the door shut. Solberg moves wide. Where's Ekstrom going to go? Ekstrom goes straight down to the Joker lap. So Ekstrom into the Joker lap first, and Solberg into the standard lap first, with Kristoffersson right behind him. The Ford to split their strategy is Bakkerud, who's gone to the Joker.
Yeah, as we expected. I didn't think that Ekstrom, unless he made a perfect start, would go in on the outside of Solberg, and that was the right thing to do. Take the Joker on the first lap.
So Petter Solberg wins the Monster Energy Supercharger War, being the first man down into turn 1. Of course, largely helped by everybody. Well, 3 of the other man on the front row heading, of course, across to the Joker lap. But Solberg where he wants to be. Kristoffersson's gone with him. What does Kristoffersson do here? His dash just said to us, we want championship points. There's 22 points between him and Petter. They are the guys, along with Ekstrom. But, I mean, in terms of points, it's Solberg and Kristoffersson at the front of the championship. Follow him or try and beat him.
Follow him as close as he possibly can, because he doesn't know how quick the guys who have taken Ekstrom, who's taken the Joker lap on the first lap, will be. So the right course of action is to follow as close as he possibly can. Worth pointing out, 6 different car manufacturers in this final grid.
Absolutely fantastic, fantastic stuff from the World Rallycross Championship, and from Tim Harvey as well. Great to have him alongside me here, as he was last year. Are we going to see a Brit on the podium? I think so. Oh, no, we're not. From the commentary position, Guy Wilkes has got smoke coming from the Mini going up the hill now. So Guy Wilkes, I think, unfortunately, isn't going to make it any further. It's going to be a battle between the front 5. Let's get back to the front when we can. Lovely, lovely low camera shot there. Solberg goes into turn 1. Kristoffersson goes with him, and Nitish as well. So those 3 guys. There is Wilkes. So is it a front left tyre? It is front left tyre of the rim.
Oh, what a shame.
It is, but brilliant weekend.
A brilliant weekend, fantastic. Let's hope we see more of them. But as you say, let's get back to the racing. These cars hitting 105 miles an hour 3 times on the lap. As they go up Hairy Hill, they're knocking on 100 miles an hour. Down through the gears to second gear, before plunging down to the hill into the iconic Paddock Hill bend right outside our commentary box here.
Here goes Petter into it now. He doesn't use all the tarmac. Some of the other drivers do. Look at that, just beautifully poised. A little bit sideways, very similar from Kristoffersson, a little bit tidier from Nitish behind them. The last 3 guys have jokered. Ekstrom is starting to catch up now. Okay, into the Joker lap, then goes Nitish. Nitish has gone to the Joker lap. Ekstrom and Bakkerud, I think, are going to get past him. So that shows us the gap that's needed. They have. So is Ekstrom, how dangerous
Ekstrom is right in this. Ekstrom is right in this fight. He's set the fastest lap 2 laps ago. He's right in the battle.
Solberg up the hill, Kristoffersson behind him. Those guys, of course, winners already this year. Matthias Ekstrom would dearly love to take a win. Has he done the right thing going to the Joker on the first lap? Beautiful car control from Bakkerud on the brakes there, Tim.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to win this one. The battle is going to be when Solberg and Kristoffersson take their Joker. Will they come out in front of Matthias Eriksson? I think Solberg will. I don't think that Kristoffersson will.
I'm surprised that neither of them went to the Joker there. When you know someone's hunting you down from behind, he's taking just a 10th here and there. Maybe defend the position, but I mean, Kristoffersson can't, can he? Because he might even fall into the clutches of Bakkerud.
Well, I know, we're all experts from the commentary box, aren't we? But
it's easy for us.
Yes, it is, isn't it? But these drivers, they're the best in the world. They're giving it absolutely everything. I've been so impressed with Matthias Ekstrom this weekend. Solberg, he's a given. You know he's going to be there, don't you? He's just something else. But I think in terms of controlled aggression throughout the weekend, Matthias Ekstrom's been first class.
So committed to his racing programme this year. A full DTM programme as well as a very nearly a full World Rallycross programme. Running the team too. He's so enthusiastic. He's full of energy. Final lap. Solberg dives into the Joker lap. Kristoffersson goes with him. Ekstrom's going up the inside. I think Ekstrom's going to do it. He's got to get the power down. Solberg's on the gas around the outside. Ekstrom knows it's going to be Supercoast down to Devil's Elbow. He just comes in front. The world champion just edges it down to the Devil's Elbow. Ekstrom thinks we're having a look. Can he get a run on him up towards the hairpin?
It was as close as we expected. Solberg defended the inside into Devil's Elbow. He's defending it up into the North Bend here. There's an opportunity on the exit of the corner if either of them gets wide. No!
Ekstrom might have a look at the bottom of the hill. I don't think he's going to be close enough. Solberg backs it in. He goes tight on the inside. He's going to defend the position. Solberg, who hasn't had the luck in the UK in the past, is going to become the first double winner of 2015. Ekstrom crosses the line in second. Kristoffersson makes it over in third. That's your top 3 for round 4 of the World Rallycross Championship.
What a fantastic race. You couldn't sit down through that one, could you?
No way, no way. Great stuff. Ekstrom took it to him. He really took it to him. It wasn't enough, but it means a lot to Solberg. It means a lot to Solberg. He's popular here in the UK. It was here that he won the World Rally Championship, of course, on Rally GP, and he loves the UK fans. Neil's up in the spotters tower with his team right now.
Congratulations. We can see how much it means to Petter, and we can see how much it means to you to win here at Lydden Hill.
Yeah, no, it was incredible, you know. Plan sort of worked, apart from the problems, it worked perfect from start to finish now, and in the end it pays off with the win, and you know, for the championship and everything, it's a little bit too good to be true, you know. It's perfect. We are very happy.
Real threat at the end from Matthias Ekstrom. Came out of the Joker lap and that last the half a lap.
Yeah, you know, Matthias driving very good, and you know, the whole final there, all of them, you know, it's so high level. So you really have to be on it and use your mind, you know, try to save the tires. I think our tires faded a little bit in the end, so but it just worked. So we just got in front of him, and that was enough.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Here's the result then of the final for round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Petter Solberg taking his second win of the year. Matthias Ekstrom in second, great performance from him. And Johan Kristoffersen, a dad this morning for the first time, stands on the podium today. What a great day for him. Bakkerud, Nittish and Wilkes are your top 6 from the UK. Replays from the final coming up. Solberg, the winner. This was away from the line. Solberg went to the inside, Ekstrom went to the outside. What a great strategy from Ekstrom. He made it down there in front of Bakkerud. And he was nearer than I thought he was going to beat him. I thought Petter had walked it, if I'm honest.
Well, I was watching the lap times. There was so much to say in the race, you just can't get it all out. But I was watching the lap times. I knew Ekstrom was in contention, and it was the right call of his to do it. Shame we lost the Mini with a puncture, and it looks like Solberg was lucky to get across the line. Looks like he has a left rear puncture as well. This was the final lap. They both come together. Solberg round the outside, having taken his Joker. Ekstrom finally back on his tail. So close, and massive defending from Solberg into the last 3 corners. Look, has he got a puncture?
I think he has. I think a puncture for Solberg over the line at the end of the race. We could see it certainly on the wind-down lap, so lucky for him. We'll hear what he's got to say about that, of course. But checkered flags out, and a brilliant, brilliant event from Lydden Hill, the home of Rallycross, the birthplace of Rallycross, and host to round 4 of the World Championship this year. Petter's team elated in the Iron Spotters Tower, and rightly so. It was a brilliant performance by the world champion. Enjoyed that, Tim?
Well, I think we've all had a fantastic weekend's entertainment, culminating in, you know, some great finals, particularly, obviously, the Supercar final. There were approximately 10 to 15 people that could have won today. You know, the quality of the drivers that didn't make the final, you know, is amazing. But we had 2 Brits in the final. We had a fantastic race between Ekstrom and Kristoffersen and, of course, Solberg. And really brilliant rallycross at its best.
I think Andrew Jordan will be a little bit disappointed not to have made it through to the final. Having said that, it's a brand new car, and it's not like last year where the Ford was a well-proven car. The Peugeot, they're still working on the handling of it. He said he made the semi-finals. It's not bad for your birthday, is it? And great in front of the home crowd, as you say, to see Andrew Jordan and Guy Wilkes make it through to the semis and Guy to the final.
Yeah, and Andy won a heat overall, which was absolutely fantastic. You know, in this competition, that is amazing.
Only him and Liam, we said this at the start of the weekend, we saw the start of the show with our Scandinavian charge. The Scandinavians have won everything except for 2 heats. One's gone to Liam and one's gone to Andrew Jordan. So the Brits at least defending the honour of the sport a little bit. There's Petter. A hug from him and Matthias. Matthias looks a little bit disappointed, which I can understand. Hugs for the team, and we'll have a little look at Petter's last lap now. So over the line, Petter into the Joker lap. Tim, if that rear left had gone down any earlier, he'd be in trouble.
He was. It's perfectly okay here now. He keeps it neat and tidy. Gets a good drive off the corner, which is crucial as he comes into the loose stuff, and just manages to get back to the inside in front of Ekstrom. And watch how he defends here coming into Devil's Eye. He sees there's a possible attack, comes off the brake, gets the front end tucked in tightly, drives it off the corner neat and tidy. Again, defends into the hairpin there. Stop any chance. Keeps it a little bit slow on the way in to get a good drive off the corner. The tyre, I think, is going down at this point. We saw smoke coming off it. Possible coming tight into the last corner. Look how the tyre's gone down there. He just made it another corner and he'd have been a sitting duck.
Great job, Petter Solberg. World champion makes his own luck, but that's a spot of luck, isn't it, on his side there. But Lovely, lovely job. There's Petter and Liam in the crowd. Massive Petter and Liam. They were in Belgium as well. I suspect we'll be seeing them at every event. They're normally on top of the Monster Energy rig. Crowd are down at the podium. Some of them are underneath their umbrellas. Been a great day's motorsport for them at Lydden Hill. Hope they've enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed it at home as much as we have here at the event. Neil Cole is down in the holding area, and he is with our winner, Petter Solberg.
I'm happy.
So, Petter, you're just saying you're happy. Talk us through just how difficult and fun that final was.
You have to remember when you have Mattias Ekström beside you, who's quite, very good, for circuit. And, I knew it will be very, very tough. I took a very good start. And for me, I kept it consistent all the time. I got the split times. It was 4 seconds behind, and I thought, okay, everything under control. And then it was 3.9, 3.7, and I got it back to 4 again. And then I thought, okay, I thought it should be okay. But you never know, because out of the joke lap is so difficult and muddy. And I heard the guy on the radio, turn in. So anyway, it's been. We have done a lot of work with the car before this weekend, and a lot of the mechanics are English with the family here, so I think they are very pleased.
Yeah, give us an idea how much it means to you to win in Great Britain, the birthplace of rallycross, but also somewhere you've spent a lot of time and the team spent a lot of time.
Well, the one thing I've been dreaming of is to win in rallycross at Lydden. Because when you have won Rally GB many times, it's about time to win also in rallycross, and this was also a dream for me. And it's not so far away from Wales, basically, because it's raining. It's not raining mud, but it's raining. But it's always a pleasure to have a good race, and it wasn't easy today, fuel problem and stuff like that, but we came through it, so I'm happy.
Do I understand that as you crossed the line you had a drive shaft problem and a puncture?
I don't know about maybe it's a puncture, but it's a puncture. Okay, maybe it's a drive shaft also. I don't know, but we need some luck sometimes. So just please, it's been a good atmosphere at Lydden, a lot of people, and it's been really good fun.
Congratulations, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's have a look at the championship standings for the drivers after round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Petter Solberg extends his lead again. Johan Kristoffersson is in second. Bakkerud third. Then it's Hansen, Nittish, Heikkinen, Ekström and Genet. PG Anderson, Robin Larsson, Tord Linnerud, Manfred Stoll, Liam Doran, Tanner Fowles, Timo Timosjanov and Guy Wilkes into the top 16 with that performance here. Great job. Neil is down in the holding area, and he's now managed to grab our second place man, Mattias Ekström.
Mattias, it was a fantastic race for the spectators, but you look disappointed. You really, really were so close to that win.
Yeah, I mean, the start I lost a little, and then the Joker and Bakkerud were behind. I did not dare to go racing line, so there probably was. I lost the race probably already in the first couple of corners, because Petter is fast, so we have similar lap times, and when you do a mistake or you have to be conservative, time flies, and then I pushed like everything I had, and did 2 couple small mistakes, but then when he came out, he was 1 car length in front, which is enough to be in front.
Well, congratulations anyway on second place.
Yeah, I mean, it's good result for us as a team, but still, victory is what counts, and today we got very close. Good points for the championship, but still we're hunting that big trophy.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Here are the team's championship standings after round 4. Ford MSC leading from SDRX, VW Team Sweden in third, then it's Peugeot Hansen, VW Markland and EKS in 6th. And World RX Team Austria and Munich Motorsport. Well, we can have a look at some replays from a wonderful weekend for round 4 of the World Rallycross Championship. Tim Harvey, great stuff. Thanks for coming along again. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know you're coming again later in the year. Be looking forward to seeing you in Italy.
Looking forward to Italy.
Genet on board. Manfred Stoll, this was under the sunshine. The rain came in time for the semi-finals and the final. Some new tarmac sections. Guy Wilkes in the new Mini from JRM Racing. Brilliant job by him. Peugeot Hansen really pleased, of course, to get all 3 cars through to the semi-finals. But it didn't work out for them with regards to the final. Ekstrom looked like a dangerous man all weekend. Petter Solberg was flying too. Kristoffersson had a child this morning and then went on to take a podium himself. That's a pretty good weekend, isn't it?
It's a brilliant weekend, and you know, I have to say it was great to see Brits up there. You know, I know it's a British race, but Partisan Crown, home of British Rallycross, 2 Brits in the final. Fantastic final, semi-finals.
On to the semis and the final, and the weather changed. It was a little bit wet. The track had been wetted down as well. We saw the same action that we always see in the World Rallycross Championship. Frantic from start to finish. Sideways from Ekstrom. Jordan was in there too. Backerud. Jordan passed Backerud. Backerud passed him back. This was Genet passing Wilkes, and Wilkes got back up the inside again. There was no quarter given. Ekstrom went through to the front row to sit alongside Petter Solberg. This was the RX Lights final. Kevin Hansen joking on the last lap. Kevin Eriksson on the first lap. And Hansen's tactic was the right one. Olofsson, unfortunately, ended up in the gravel trap. On to the final then. And Solberg going on the standard lap, Ekstrom on the other. Solberg, having splits sent to the car, he was so keen to find out how Ekstrom was doing. He made a bigger gap, had a smaller gap. Finally, though, he managed to hold on with Ekstrom right on the back bumper. The world champion takes his 2nd win of the year and serves his intent to retain his championship. Fantastic weekend here in Lydden. We'll see you in Germany in a few weeks' time.